Life as a Bulldog has always meant something very special.
The game is over. Georgia has won.
It's much easier sometimes to try to get there. Have to be there and then hold on to it and defend.
Happy New Year!
You better get ready. You better buckle your chin strap because they're going to play you hard.
And physical toughness wins in football now. And if you in this room, you got it.
If you can say, yeah, they'll fight you. Well, you can play them. They're going to play you for 60 minutes, and you're in for a battle.
God, touchdown!
They're going to play you together. I'll assure you of that.
This is our love for each other. 1 + 1 = what? 3. We are better together, and we are connected. I love you guys!
This team personifies the word team.
We play for each other.
Seeing everybody else working hard together, and then this camaraderie that comes forth of sharing the victory. This again, a historic moment in Georgia athletics, will be on the minds of Georgia people for generations to come. And these Georgia fans are what it's all about, and we've had tremendous fans all year long. My thanks to the greatest fans in the world. And I wish that I could have been here to really see and enjoy finishing the season undefeated and being #1 in the country.
Hi, I'm Vince Dooley. For over 100 years, the University of Georgia has enjoyed one of the nation's top football.
How you doing, good brother? How you doing, good brother? Behind the scenes, your boy. We have a lot going on, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I am not that loud right now. I'm not tripping. We gonna get to where we gonna get to. I'm trying to stay calm. There's been a lot of disrespect. There was a lot of... Ooh, look at that there. You see that? You see that? Do you see it? I had to take my glasses off because I want to make sure that you can see. Do you see that there, Norwood? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the pregame of episode 85 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. I am your wonderful, ecstatic, not mad co-host, Reggie.
I'm Norwood.
Remember, somebody was going to be mad. Somebody was going to be mad, if I remember correctly. That's what Norwood was saying. So somebody was for sure going to be mad. And he predicted that my team was going to lose. Predicted that we were going to get beat by the Texas Christian Hypnotoads, a.k.a. the Horned Frogs. Wasn't that you that said that? Was it you?
I said it, man.
I just want to make sure I know. I said what?
It, yo.
I just want you to sit there and stare at that meme that I held in my phone for 3 months. Just so that I could sit here and send this to you. That's all I wanted to do. I held this meme. I did not use it the entire time. I sat here humbly as I was berated by mounds and mounds of hate, mounds and mounds of disdain. A lot of excuses.
Have hate and disdain for you.
A lot of excuses. I'm not really just shooting at you. I'm shooting at a lot of people through you. The bullets is going through your torso. These are slugs coming. Slugs. Had a lot of passive aggressive sarcasm. A lot of passive aggressive sarcasm. Pagan, come on down, brother. How you doing? You all right today? Are you okay? Pagan. Let me turn this off so you can see my face. Pagan. You had a lot of Drake-ish type comments the first time we won the national championship. The first one that we won in a row. You said, "Oh, I understand it's your first one. Congrats. ... Now, Pagan, you are more of a mascot to me. You represent everybody that didn't really become an Alabama fan till like 2 years after Nick Saban got there. And then they came back with like my cousins, great grandmamas, aunts. Somebody went to Alabama or worked there at the cafeteria. I know Pagan's cousin played football, but I'm just talking about the other people who great grand aunt, did something, but didn't, try to have some type of reach and stretch to get to Alabama. Talking to y'all. Norwood, welcome. Mr. Florida Gator. Mr. Tim Tebow is my savior. Yes, sir. Mr. Wearing purple and black, just like the Horned Frogs that he said he was going for. Y'all remember the name? I'll quote. He said, "We're all Horned Frogs tomorrow," is what he said. That's what he said. A lot of Georgia Tech people out there. How y'all doing? Welcome. Shout out to y'all. Great engineering school, great alumni base, wonderful black alumni. My cousin my god brother went there, played football. Wonderful people. A lot of people from high school. Y'all was in my DMs too, talking about to hell with Georgia. To hell with you and Georgia. I wouldn't even said nothing. You just said to hell with Georgia. Somebody hit me with the hell to you and Georgia. Like, I'm the one that made y'all sucky at football since 1990. I mean, y'all had like 2000 and, Calvin Johnson years. Calvin Johnson got y'all, and Demaryius Thomas. Y'all had them. That's cool. How y'all doing? Welcome. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Zach, how you doing? Come on down, Zach. Said, my disdain for Georgia. Everybody knows my disdain for Georgia is what Zach said. Let's go TCU is what Zach said. We're all Horned Frogs. What Zach said. How you doing? Welcome. The damn Hypnotoad people. How y'all like that? How y'all like them apples? 65. 60 fucking 5 points to 7. It should have been 72-0, if you really want to be honest. We gave them a touchdown by running away from the receiver. We let Max Duggan score. This game was very, very personal. I didn't really know all of the underlying storylines. Yeah, Tymon Mitchell, former Georgia player, transferred to TCU, became a starter. We see. I hope you make it to the league. You're a big fish in a small pond, brother. It's cool.
This is the worst thing could have happened.
Matt Duggart, isn't that his name? Duggart finished ahead of Stetson Bennett for the Heisman Trophy. Finished ahead of him. Sonny Dykes, TCU coach, 14-1, coach of the year. Coach of the year over Kirby Smart, 15-0. I don't even know who I want to start with first. So I guess I'll start with the person to my, this would be my right. How you doing, brother? You all right? You good?
Doing the best I can.
65-7. Did you watch all of the touchdowns? Did you watch all of the records being broken? You did not, did you? No. You went home. You went to sleep trying to dream about how you can build a time machine to take your bum ass back to 2006 and 2008 with Tim Tebow and Chris Leak, and you can lose. We just getting started. I'm going to let you know. Right? I didn't call nobody. I didn't text. I didn't say anything. All I said was, I don't want a close game. I don't want a good game. I said, I don't. You remember I said that? I said I do not want to get. Oh, DJ from Durham, North Carolina, but somehow is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and Florida Gators fan. Don't know how that happened. How you doing, brother? Yeah. You tune in every week. You're absent today. That's all right. This gonna be a nice little trailer. Nice little trailer. Calling everybody out by name. By name. To all the people that shot at my friends Elway. Yes, he's a fair weather Georgia fan. His football's really not his thing. But you shot at Elway through me, Brother Wortham. Brother Wortham. You shot at Elway through me. Now we cordial. I ain't gonna say too much crazy stuff. But it's a new sheriff in town, big dog. New sheriff in town, big dog. We out here. Y'all can roll on back to Birmingham, Fairfield, and Tuscaloosa. Just stay on I-20. It's all right. Don't know what's about to happen with y'all, but we know what's about to happen with us. We only lose 4 starters. We lost 15 last year, and we got to win for 15. What Stetson say? We were trying to find somebody to beat us, and we ran out of games. Quote of the night. Quote of the night. And the funny thing is, people were saying Stetson's 25 years old. He wasn't even the oldest player on the field. TCU got a 30-year-old punter. I ain't never heard Norwood this quiet before. Ever. I've never heard you this quiet before.
Because the game itself was so disappointing.
To you.
And definitely to me. And you knew going into it, the TCU was not the number 4 ranked team.
Man, I don't want to hear that bullshit. TCU was just another team that got beat. They were beat just like the other 14 teams got beat. Just like Tennessee, they said Tennessee was going to come and beat us. What do we do? Beat their ass. They said Oregon was going to come there with Dan Lannon. What do we do? Beat their ass. They said, LSU, what do we do? We beat their ass. What did Ohio State do? They came in there and learned how to play. We hit hard. Took out your motherfucking receiver. Y'all played well. Beat y'all ass. Tremaine, how you doing, brother? I remember all the jokes you had for UGA when Ohio State was up in 2014. I remember all of that. 9 years later, you still claiming. No, I ain't gonna shoot at you, Tremaine. You don't really say much. But you did say Georgia was a laughing stock. Dabo and all of my family in South Carolina. How y'all doing, Clemson? USC? State College? Well, not State College. I love South Carolina State. Clemson? USC? Y'all all right? Y'all all right? I ain't never seen a fan base go from USC to Clemson to USC to Clemson to USC to Clemson just to beat Georgia. How you a fan of 2 teams? What do y'all do on the last day? Nothing. Dabo, go ahead and pack it up, big dog. They try to get you up out of there. Talking about NIL, his name, image, and likeness of God. God said, don't use my name. Not in name. Don't use my name in vain, big dog. Don't use my name in vain, big dog. I got bigger fish to fry. Clemson. Hey, Dabo, he gonna go right on down and try to replace Saban. Go ahead, brother. How y'all doing? Yes, Texas, Oklahoma, come on to the party. Auburn, hey, Tennessee. I'm coming right back to Tennessee because y'all talking about y'all got to beat 60. We beat a team in the national championship 65-7. Y'all beat a team. Y'all got beat by a team that was 6-6, 63-28. South Carolina beat y'all. Y'all let South Carolina score 63 points, and they beat y'all, and then all transferred away. They ain't even want to be there. Y'all was just another notch on the belt. Peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed the Orange Bowl, both of y'all. There's a whole lot of shades of orange and disappointment. That's what we gonna call it. How y'all doing? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Splash Class, episode 85 of the Around the League edition of the Splash Cast. I am your co-host, Reggie. I had to introduce myself again because I want to make sure that y'all know my name. I want to make sure y'all know my name because I'm going to remind you of all the disrespect. And nobody want to be in my DMs today. A lot of digression. A lot of like, that's a 25. A lot of digression. Nothing. Quiet. Crickets. I was looking. I was scrolling. I was looking. Nothing. Y'all had a lot of shit to say after the first one. I ain't quiet. We got the whole nation quiet. Everybody quiet. Eric Ainge from Tennessee that says Stetson Bennett was a bum. Eric Ainge says Stetson Bennett was a bum. Eric Ainge. ... I'm just gonna leave that there. That's all the insults you need. You just gotta say Eric Ainge. Insult. You ain't gotta say nothing else. And then everybody want to get on TCU. Y'all set them up for this. Y'all all picked TCU. Fox, Kirby was pissed. He said he had to sit in there with Fox and listen to all that bullshit. They all picked them. Lee Corso putting on the horn frog. Hey, bruh. Hey, Lee, go ahead right off into the sunset, big dog. They only got you at half the games anyway. Go ahead, right. You can be a special co-host. You can put on the mascot head at the end of but all that analysis was wrong. Everybody was wrong. Even Nick Saban, who didn't really want to pick Georgia, was like, hey, if TCU tries to go fast and doesn't get any first downs, it's going to be a long night. And that happened literally by the third possession. The game was damn over. Let's get into it. Let's get into the pregame, y'all. Now that I'm done with this, man. Now that I am finished with this, let's get into the pregame. Got a few things to talk about. We do want to say a few things. You know, we normally talk about the Braves in an off season. We talk about all this other stuff. So I want to say thank you to 77, who actually deserved to be called Luke Jackson after 2 years ago when we won the World Series. Similar to when the Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship.
Oh, boy. Congratulations, Luke. That's all I got right now. That's all I got. I mean, shit. It's bad. It's bad right now.
Oh, you should have known it's bad when I didn't say nothing. When we won and I didn't say a word, I said, okay. I said, let me get my life together first. Let me get my life together first. Let me get my thoughts together. Do we really want to talk about Skip Bayless again? I guess we can. Let's talk about Skip. So why do you think Skip Bayless was famous for everything, being a hater, basically? And of course, this has been studied.
Oh, he's a well-respected journalist. Let's not do that now.
And he's a hater. He's a hater too. You can be both. They're not mutually exclusive. Some people make themselves well-respected journalists by being haters. He really just got made into the antagonist by ESPN, honestly, and it stuck. And Skip said these things. The NFL, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Somehow, this tweet, I ain't going to say somehow, this tweet comes off insensitive and got Skip in hot water.
Depends on who you ask. He said he wasn't in hot water.
That sounds like, hey, my boss is good with it. The hell with all y'all. That's what that sounds like to me.
And that is, in fact, not hot water. That's the coolest of waters. If your boss is cool with it, then what you talking to me for? I say this, and I'll stand by this. You clearly see that he says, the NFL is considering postponing the game, but he also says the very bottom, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Specifically talking about the game, saying the game is absolutely irrelevant. But as anybody, if you've ever worked in sports, you consider, what do we do from here? As a person who's worked for a hockey team, worked for a pro baseball team, and shit happens. It's an event. It's an event every night. And every night that something can happen, it will happen. And while you're dealing with that, you have to think about, how do we continue? It's not paying attention to that person, not giving that person the respect they deserve. It's just something naturally embedded in you. Just like if you're an entertainer, if you do shows, you go on tour, you have to be able to take that moment to be in the moment, but at the same time understand, how do we move around this situation? And in this situation, there's so many other time constraints because this is the end of the season. This is a playoff game, and most of the time, you go on your way. I can understand because that was not the first thing, but definitely one of the things I thought in my head. How do they go? Where do they go from here, and how do they do it?
So, again, it was definitely ill-timed and poorly worded. I feel like, so I had a long time to sit and think about this. In the world of journalism, especially with journalism and social media, it is a fight to be the first person with the story, be the first person with the quote, be the first person with the tweet. To be the first normally gets you more credit in the journalism entertainment world when it comes to sports or entertainment, all entertainment really. So I have in my mind no doubt that Skip, as soon as they talked about this, he just fired off that tweet. And
which is what he does. He tweets stream of consciousness as sports happen, just like me and you do when we get on the Splashcast. It's a very normal thing to do.
And at that point, I think he realized, because he did have a response, if I'm not mistaken, he realized that he shouldn't have said that. And he actually just got a lot of flack, and they can't in his DMs, and everybody replied to him, which he's used to taking heat anyway, and decided to send another tweet and basically say, no, I wasn't being insensitive, blase, blase, blah. And then, of course, everything that happened with Shannon Sharp. I think
he
was
already
poorly timed.
He
I don't
first
think he
led by
by
saying, I'm praying for the man and his family. Then he clearly says,
boy, AJ,
and he's saying the game
Riley
clearly does not matter. He says the game is irrelevant. But so often people have already made their decision on if they like you or dislike you. So whatever you say is kind of irrelevant. If it falls into the narrative that they enjoy, then from there they're going to run with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it was ill-timed. Skip got to learn to just take a breath. If he just didn't tweet it and waited until afterwards, maybe wait a little bit longer, he would have been all right. But he didn't do that.
That's so egregious. And the reason I say that is people ask for truth and authenticity and all of this. And because it's at the end of the day, for me, it's just that people don't like Skip. Whatever Skip said, they would have found an issue with it, which they already kind of do. And that's the reason I think that he's pretty unapologetic about, I'm not taking it down, and I said what I meant. Y'all gonna have an issue with anything I say. So I'm gonna just say what I believe, and then y'all can do whatever you want to.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I do definitely think it was influenced by people that didn't like him. But it is what it is.
Somebody called him racist. I'm like, you see, do you know who his co-hosts are?
I mean, his co-host didn't show up that day. I mean, Stephen A. him and Stephen A. beefing. I'm not saying he's racist, but I mean, I think that's a poor reference.
He hand-selected both of his co-hosts. He said, these are the two guys that I want.
That don't mean you not. No, I mean, Skip is not racist. I'm not saying Skip is racist. Just because you hand select a black man as a white man don't mean you not racist.
And put them in a premier position?
Don't mean you not racist. That don't mean you not racist. That means you playing the game. There's plenty of racist white people that have put black people in prominent positions, and they still racist.
For their own benefit.
You don't think you don't think this isn't beneficial? You don't think Shannon Sharp is beneficial to Skip Bayless? You don't think Stephen A. Smith's personality is beneficial to Skip Bayless?
I think that if he's that good of a talent judge, what it looks like he is, he could probably find somebody else to do it if he really wanted to.
I mean, that's hypothetical.
Seems to be good. He seems to be pretty good at it. He 2 for 2.
Biggie. So you don't think you kind of just sidestepped my question.
What?
I said you don't think a white man can put a black man in a prominent role and be racist, and you kind of sidestepped that.
I mean, yes, there's.
I said Skip isn't racist,
but I don't see people handing out opportunities like that.
You don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna call everybody racist. We're gonna get out of here, but you don't know. There's a lot of people that are racist that I don't think you pay attention to, but it's there. I mean, you work in corporate America. It's there. But back to the blacks. Brianna Daniels is the first African American woman to become a NASCAR
Unhinged.
to be a NASCAR pit crew member. Shout out to her. This was one of her goals. She's been working towards this for a long time. This is one of the spaces that black people are just now breaking into. I actually am not. I'm gonna say this. I am very surprised because when you normally try to break into a sport that's not for us, that we normally aren't in or dominate in, it's hard for black men to get in there. It's 10 times harder for black women to get in there. So for a black woman to break into NASCAR and become a pit crew member is like out of this world to me. Like this is huge. This is big.
Yeah, it just always amazes me things that black people are doing for the very first time in 2023.
A lot of firsts. I mean, yeah.
I feel like it's late for some of these firsts, but I guess better late than never.
I mean, United States ain't nothing but 300 years old. 500 years old, sorry. 300 years, no, 1776, 2076, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hope for more progress. Maybe I was a little bit more of an optimist.
Yeah. you are.
What's that? Yeah.
You are. Hey, man.
Congratulations, Miss Daniels. Boy.
Congratulations, Miss Daniels. You are awesome. You are awesome. I hope you get to bring in more black women and women of color into the NASCAR space. Y'all remember Lewin Diaz? Lewin Diaz was actually.
How you gonna remember, man? He looked like he'd been on everybody's team in the last week and a half.
He actually tweeted to the Braves, "Hey, y'all need to come sign me." When he was with Miami, and
I like that. Hey, Brooke, who did that? What's his name?
Another guy from
the Seahawks.
Oh, for the Seahawks. Yeah. Earl Thomas.
Come get me. Boy, you on a team. That's fine. Come get me, dog. I need a new team.
So he said that when he was with Miami. Miami said, bet. We're going to designate free agents. You went to Pittsburgh, designated free agent. Went to Baltimore, designated free agent. Got to where he wanted to go after the season, December 23rd, traded to Atlanta. Lasted 5 days. Designated free agent, back to Baltimore. This would
7
be
whole days. Not a word from you.
This would be funny if it were during the season and he had to travel to all these places. I'm pretty sure he didn't go to anywhere.
Oh no, I'm just staying at home. Hey, when I'm done, y'all let me know and I'll show up there. Damn, but you gotta think, every time that you get to one of these teams, you have to have one of those weird ass conversations where they bring you on board only to subsequently release you a day later. Hey man, happy to have you here. I think you're gonna be a wonderful part of the team. We love the way that you can contribute. Also, not gonna work out here. We're gonna have you go on to your next destination. Don't worry about it.
They have two separate conversations.
We've already done all the signatures. Well, you hired and fired every day, boy.
You think they do two conversations? I feel like they signed him on the 23rd and said, "Hey, big dog, don't even get on the plane. We ain't got no tablet for you, no playbook. Don't even learn the signals." On the 28th, you out of here. Or 23rd, they pick you up. Hey, big dog. Baltimore picked him up twice in a month. You knew you weren't staying. Like, you know he gonna be designated free agent again.
This means you're right on the precipice of being good.
Or right on the precipice of being out of the league.
But why? I can't understand the strategy of pick up, drop. That's just money games, way above my pay grade when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, I was about to say, if it's money involved, you'll understand why. Especially
baseball
if you have to pay on certain. Yeah. Speaking of money,
I want a jersey from each one of these teams, though.
Oh yeah, you got to send me a jersey.
Just like Carmelo played for the Hawks.
Yeah, you got to do that. But speaking of the money, Cristiano Ronaldo, the first year gets $200 million. Boy, Steph Sneaky, you know that dude ain't got no W-2. He got a 1099. They gonna put all them places on one piece of paper. But Cristiano Ronaldo Everybody was like, "Dang, you going to Saudi? I mean, you going to Saudi Arabia to play?" We talked about it before. $200 million, $16 million a month, $548,000 a day, $23,000 an hour, $380 a minute, $6.34. 34 minutes.
A 2018 Civic for that right now. Every hour you can go buy you a Civic.
Or a house. That's a down payment for a house every hour. 24 hours, 24 houses.
I mean, every day I get $548,000. Pay me daily. Pay me daily. I want my check every day. When I wake up, have my money.
Want to do this like Groundhog Day, dog? Just wake up
every
and go
day.
do some wild shit and then just go to sleep and be like,
it's
back again.
548 in a day a few times. Boy, I'm gonna run it up. Just give me the check for the day. Just give me that money for today. Today.
That's crazy. I now see why Cristiano Ronaldo went over there. I mean, he got 3 years, 750.
I do not. No. Them boys over there, they already had to make special rules for his relationship so he could be over there with his girlfriend, because you can't live with your girlfriend over there.
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy.
And he like, I'm not getting married. Now, see, my thing about that is when they make them rules, that's cool because you just got over there. When it's time for you to leave, if they want to change them rules and you stuck, and your name is Chuck.
Yeah, they start sending somebody out there to fight you like this. They just start.
Soccer players have the worst fights because it's never like, why are you twisting?
Grabbed his hair. Like this is like two girls fighting in the club. This is what this looks like.
You gonna do everything but punch him. Like at this point, you done scratched him. Oh no! You didn't see what he did with the left hand. That's dirty. That's
what he do.
Oh, I mean.
Oh
look.
no!
Oh, you right in there.
Hit him with you gotta let go after that. That was the fight was over when you did that.
We are fighting different. Look at that hand. No, dog, your left hand placement is nasty, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, we are not ending this well. I'm getting put out of here. The man has grabbed in my region too many times. I gotta let him know this ain't cool. Like right here, see that? Nuh-uh. Then he went again. Oh my God, and stayed.
I didn't see that.
I
sick. Really don't want to. That's all right.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is hands.
Let's go back to Brianna. Brianna, shout out to you, first woman, American woman to become a NASCAR. We don't want to see no man grope another man in a fight no more. That ain't it. That ain't it.
Hey, boy, I will do to you what Georgia did to TCU.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the pregame of the Splash Cast, and we are just getting started. You know, when we come to the Around the League edition, we talk about news around the culture, HBCU culture, basketball, NBA, college when necessary, mostly NBA. Nobody really watches college anymore down in the Southeast. And then football, we got NFL, and then we're going to recap the annihilation, the record-setting, dynasty starting.
It was a waste of a
championship.
Time. It was a waste of my time. I can't remember the last time that I've wasted time like I watched, like the time that I wasted watching some of that game.
I actually watched a little bit of the Florida Vanderbilt game. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 85 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. I'm going to introduce myself again in case that y'all weren't here for the pregame. I am your national championship winning World Series champion. Back-to-back national championship winning Southeastern Conference champion. SEC East Division champion. 15-0 Georgia Bulldog supporter Reggie, aka Atlanta Raised. Good to see y'all.
How we doing, folks? It's Norwood. It's gonna be a rough one here. Bear with me. Send me all your thoughts and prayers. I will need them today. Before we start, always remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Please specifically like, follow, and subscribe today. I'm gonna need all the support I can get. And buckle up. I don't know where this is going. He's already unhinged.
You know, in the movie Frankenstein, when the scientist makes the monster and then the monster kills the scientist, you did this. I've always hated Florida, but I did not have the pure disdain and utter hatred that I have for them now because of you. Only you. And to see and hear and be around you when you kick Georgia when we're down. And the thing is, all these people talk so much shit about Georgia saying they were down, and we were going like 12-2. 12-2. Bad year was 11-3. What was your bad year, Norwood? You've had a couple of them in the last 3 or 4. Wasn't it 6-6? 7-5.
We've already heard Reggie introduce himself, I think, 5 times this podcast.
Oh, that was a serious question. What's a bad year to the Florida Gators in the last 10 years?
Any year that we don't win a championship is a bad year.
Boy, you've had a lot of bad years in a row then, huh?
And this is one of the worst.
The clock is ticking on you, my friend. And let me tell you right now, y'all ain't close. Y'all ain't close. They even made cheating legal for y'all. Y'all can pay players, and you can go get them from the portal, and y'all still suck.
Is there gonna be an HBCU segment, or we just?
That's what y'all look like. At HBCU. Y'all look like an HBCU player in the SEC. Losing to Vanderbilt. You should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all lost to the SEC nerds. Y'all. Oh my God. Oh man. And if Anthony Richardson is a first round quarterback, then y'all should be shot. That means y'all had a first round quarterback and went 6-6 and lost to Vanderbilt and Kentucky and back. And y'all lost to Kentucky twice.
And this season has been brought to you by Billy Napier and an elementary school offense. I have no answer for that.
So what was last season brought to you? By Dan Mullen? What about the season brought to you before that? The shark dude, the dude that be having sex with the sharks. What's his name?
All of these people are terrible humans.
Dan Mullen, see, at least they was getting kissed in the mouth by his wife. They was getting McElwain was having sex with sharks. Dan Mullen was kissing. Dan Mullen's wife was kissing people in the mouth. At least they was getting some affection.
What was the dude who could only coach defense? What was his name?
Oh, he's at Georgia. He just won a national championship as the defensive coordinator. It gets better and better, doesn't it? It gets better. We just now getting started, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get right back into the culture, though.
You even wear those championships after what you did to my team. You sorry.
He's a spy. You know he was on the LSU staff. That was all part of the grand master plan.
He probably has a collection of rings from where he just goes after he's been terrible. That man could not coach his way around the offense if his life depended on it. I don't think he could coach a Madden offense. Will Muschamp is so inept on the offensive side of the ball is mind-blowing.
And you guys hired him to be the head coach. And we hired him to be the defensive coordinator, and we won a national championship. And went 15-0.
Oh, now he is. When it comes to defense, he is a savant. There are not many minds that are better than his defensively. Offense, I wouldn't trust him in a flag football game. 7-on-7. Middle school.
So let's bet some beers real quick. Let's bet a 24
Damn, you
pack.
gonna stomp me out and then try to bet me for some beers?
Let's bet a 24 pack that y'all will have a new coach by the end of 2024. $24
Yeah.
Episode 85.
I'm saying
I'm taking that y'all will have a new coach.
I'm saying we will.
Oh man.
Have you seen the man coaching offense?
Okay.
Hey, you can blow all you want.
We can bet another one. Let's bet another one.
True.
I'll give you another bet. I'll give you a chance to win something since y'all suck so bad. We'll bet a 24 pack that y'all finish third or worse in the SEC East next year. And the thing is, y'all suck so bad that you actually have to contemplate. Yeah, that's pride. Take it. 24 pack. Take it.
I'll take it 20. Yeah, I'll take it 24 on that any time of the week.
Third or worse in the SEC East. I'm confident in this. I'm confident that y'all gonna lose this. I think Tennessee gonna beat y'all again.
I'm not confident that we will, but I can't say that we won't.
Yes, you can. You call yourself a realist all the time. You never root for Florida when they suck. You haven't said Florida was good since 2008.
I'm not one of those people who feels eliminated as soon as the season is. Before the season starts, we eliminated. Nah, nope. We can do that. Now how we gonna do it and with who? Hell, I don't know.
Better call the Angels in the outfield.
I don't know who our quarterback is gonna be next year. But
God, y'all got to go get Jesus.
Hey, relax, Dion.
Y'all get him too.
No, we good. We are good.
Woo, that's another bet. Colorado has a better record than Florida next year.
I'll take that bet too. Taking it. Got 24 on that too. Hey, that shit might be a piece of trash, but I'm gonna stick beside it. That's all I got.
Well, that's stupidity.
Hey, bruh, now you been for.
Hey, I
hate the position that I am in right now.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Go ahead, man. Turn on up.
Enjoy it. I'm already here. I'm already here, brother. You created Frankenstein, bro. Just know that.
Can we talk about Fisk? Lord Jesus, have mercy.
Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the HBCU news around the culture, we try to keep you abreast of all of the news on across all the sports that you want to hear about, including Fisk University. History was made. Fisk University is the first HBCU program to compete in the NCAA level in gymnastics. Not only is that a big deal, again, in the pregame, we talked about black women, how it's hard it is for black people to break into mostly dominated white sports. And we said it's even harder for black women to break into those sports. Fisk University doing this opens the door for massive expansion and more college tuition for more black women and black girls that are becoming black women to go to HBCUs by giving them and offering them a scholarship in their sport. This is awesome to me. I think is another big deal.
Congratulations, number one, on just getting the program off the ground. Number two, congratulations on being able to compete at the NCAA level. And they went out and they did a very good job. So all three bases for me. I'm extremely proud. This is things that we like to report about, like to talk about. And, wish you guys continued support.
Yep. Morgan Price actually got a 9.9 score in the team's first vault competition ever, which is 0.1 scores down from perfect.
And, of course, this is Morgan Price, who was being recruited and had a scholarship at Arkansas and chose to go to Fisk.
Yep. They told her that they were starting this, and she's going to go into Fisk. So I don't watch a lot of gymnastics, but I do know that when you land and don't move, That means you're
Yeah, I was
really,
about to
really
say, if that ain't a 10, then what else?
good.
Nope. I'm gonna be mad. And especially something subjective. Hey, bro, where my point at?
And shout out to HBCUs and universities taking advantage and keeping an up-to-date social media. They came out and said right after the match that we would like to thank our fans, the other schools that competed in the Super 16, and the NCAA for continued support as we grow our program. Go Big Dogs. That keeps you relevant. That keeps your program going. And I want all other HBCUs, Southern University, that don't update their sports pages daily to take heed and watch what Fisk is doing. This is history making. You have to let the people know. You have to use social media as a tool.
I will also echo your sentiments on this. As two guys who have a podcast, who have a show, and we try to shine light on HBCUs as much as possible, it would be great if you guys helped us by making the information more readily available.
Yeah, man. We want to shine light on all aspects of HBCUs, but you got to help us out. Come on, man. You don't want us to go
Reggie
have to
are
hunt.
scouring the internet trying to.
You see this? Dog.
I didn't even know this, man.
Bruh, is this a link to a SharePoint? Yes, it is. I had to go. That's where I had to find it.
Can
like,
you find?
come on, bro.
And I mean, and this is conversations that we also have to have in our groups of friends for all of the different HBCUs that we go to. Please check on your school's sports pages. And if you see that there is room for growth, reach out to the people at your school and stay on them, because it is extremely important for us to lift the message, and there's just so much room for opportunity and growth.
Because you're not going to see this on mainstream media. I watched the Sports Center every day. You don't see things like this on mainstream media.
And that's why it's vital, because there's no other place showing this. So you have to help the places that are showing this have access to your information so we can uplift you.
Correct. Moving on, man. Here's a preview of the Nike LeBron 7 FAMUs in the FAMU green. They call it Gorge Green.
Jeez. And I have not been the biggest fan of LeBron's, but these are fire. These are amazing.
These look like futuristic King Griffey Jr.'s.
And boy, talk about lacing them up and putting them on the floor. Jeez.
FAMU Rattlers.
If I'm the basketball team, you're not telling me anything it means.
Man, if I'm an alumni, I'd have
LeBron gave me them himself. I know LeBron. Is at his house the other day. What are you talking about?
Come on, Hampton. Y'all better reach out to AI.
Man.
Oh, well, no. Well, yeah, I would have reached out to AI. I don't know. Somebody that got some type of deal with somebody. Come on, Hampton. Come on, Southern. Grambling already be doing that.
And we down, too, because FAMU also got a pair of dunks out.
Yep. FAMU
these are
moving.
good, though.
And are those suede? Wow.
Yes. It's a good shoe.
A lot of detail.
It's a good incorporation of the shoe and the school.
Man, and the thing is, so if you didn't go to this school, can you wear these?
I can do whatever the hell I want to. I'm black.
You will wear the FAMU LeBrons?
And I repeat, I can do whatever the hell I want to. I'm black.
So if somebody sponsored a pair of FAMU LeBrons for the Splash Cast,
I don't care. I'm black. I'm putting them on my feet. And I went there for a college visit. So I'm like honorary almost.
Yeah, if there's one school that everybody is an honorary something, it's FAMU. FAMU, everybody has a FAMU somebody. Cousin, aunt, brother, sister, dad, mom, grandma, great-grandma that went to FAMU. Everybody.
Yeah, I think I'm honorary FAMU.
Everybody honorary FAMU.
I'm honorary FAMU and I'm honorary Georgia Southern. Do I have a degree from either one of those schools? No. I get the equivalent. My shit transferable. It's like a hunting license.
What about honorary Florida? Didn't your brother go there?
Yeah, but it's not like
Ooh,
Georgia Southern. Half
that
my
boy don't want to
family.
claim them losers. Look at him. He backing up. It's not the same. It's not the same.
relax.
It's not the same.
Like
It's not the
half of
same.
my family went to Georgia Southern.
That's
If
fine.
there's
You
another
had-
school, it's Georgia
you
Southern.
had- you- so you can't claim Florida for your brother? You do every other time when they winning.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's different. But no, Florida is there, but it's not Georgia Southern where everybody went.
Or Georgia. It's nothing. It's all.
No, I would never. No, wait, hold on. And it's funny enough now that it's all been said and done. My mama still hates Georgia. She don't care.
That's fine. That's
She will
fine.
hate them until the cows come home.
Hey man, that's fine. She can hate them. She can hate them. She can look for them cows too. Cause right now, 29-1. I think this is the right way. Jeez, I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think this is the right way to get your name into the NFL circle, to get your name into the college, the FBS circle. I think this is the right way to do it. It's not using. It's not boisterous. It's not all about me. I think Eddie George is going about this the right way and putting the kids first. So, shout out to Eddie George. I'm not going to say the other person's name who I'm referencing, but the fact that y'all know who I'm referencing tells me everything I need to know.
Well, yeah, and the things that I like about this is voluntary. This is something extra that you're doing. This gives you an opportunity to talk to people and meet with people who you wouldn't ordinarily meet because they're just in different parts of the country for whatever reason. And yeah, you're investing in the kids. You're taking time out of your day when you're already an NFL star. You're a head coach. You don't really have to do this. And to do this, kudos to Eddie George. Classic.
Yeah, man. Kudos to Eddie George. Hey, guys, let me know if you can hear me. Kev says he can't hear me, but everybody else is responding in the chat. That may be a you thing, Kev. I think I got everything going. Moving on, but yeah, shout out to Eddie George, man. Hey, some quiet news in Grambling that doesn't involve Hugh Jackson standing in front of a Rolls Royce trying to be Dion.
I thought he was shooting the Big Timers video, but
and why did he have the belt hanging off of the car?
that was both the worst part and the best part of that video.
He looks so uncomfortable. He look like somebody granddaddy.
Hey man, he trying to win a championship, bro.
Yeah, but former coach Broderick Fobbs, who was there from 2014 to 2021, I believe, is now going to the University of Louisiana Monroe as the running backs coach. Broderick Fobbs started off strong at Grambling and then kind of tailed off at the end. But shout out to him for continuing his career, man. He's a good coach to me. He was giving Southern that work. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, I'm rocking with you. I'm excited about this too. That program with Louisiana, that's Billy Napier's old program.
I didn't shoot that time. I didn't shoot that time. That was you.
That's the reason I was like, Lord, this is gonna wrap me right back into where I did not
When it
try
rains, it pours.
But that program has come a long way. At first they were Louisiana Monroe, and now they're just University of Louisiana. So, congratulations.
Yeah, Billy Napier built them up. That's why they brought him to Florida. He's supposed to build up Florida. You never know, man. I will say
basketball.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen with the transfer portal. So keep hope alive, brother. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the HBCU segment of the Around the League edition of episode 85. We're going to go to break real quick, and then we're going to come right back with basketball. Stay tuned. We won't be gone long. We'll be right back. Norwood, go cry in the corner.
I'm trying to delay my drinking.
Should have did it all yesterday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the basketball segment of episode 85 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. Of course, I am your national championship winning co-host, Reggie. We don't need to introduce that guy over there. You know he's a Florida Gators fan. Where do you want to start today, my friend?
Ladies and gentlemen, the audio experience.
Video too. They can see me. Tell the truth. Instagram, where do we want to start? Let's start with in news around the NBA. We got a lot of good games. Of course, right now, what is it, a 3-person race for MVP? Maybe 4-person race? Maybe 5, really. Embiid keeps getting hurt.
What?
But you got Jokic, you got Giannis, you have Embiid, I guess, and then you also have Luka.
Joker.
I said Jokic.
Oh, Joker, Giannis, Embiid, Luka. That's at least 4. And Tatum.
That's the 5th one. That's what I was missing. Tatum. It will be Kevin Durant, but we'll get to him in a little bit. I think he's gonna drop off now. But before we get to that, man, we did the ATL edition on Sunday. It's out now on all your DSPs. That night, Nate got his 750th career win, which also means the Hawks got off the schneid of going 0-3 in our last game. So we actually beat the Clippers in LA. So shout out to Nate, man. Shout out to Nate. Nothing? No? So the funny thing is...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I said congratulations. It's a weird time for Nate right now because he's already had so much success. And I'm not sure if he wants to continue coaching. I don't know if your point guard wants him to continue coaching.
I think Nate's. I think he's winding on down to retirement. I think that's it. He's hitting a lot of milestones and career milestones in his last little tenure with the Hawks. I think Trey made him tired. That's what I think. I think Trey.
You do that. To me.
Yeah, I think Trey made him tired. So, shout out to Nate. In other news, man, this duo right here, the dynamic duo of Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle tried to offer him some wine after they won. At the press conference, you could tell those two are having fun, and normally that doesn't happen on a Tom Thibodeau team. Normally you don't have
pull
fun.
That out of your bag it's clutch right there. Hey, bro, you need this.
You want some wine? Like, how do you have wine just in the bag? This is definitely planned.
I think there's even more of a reason to have it. Stay strapped. And it's red too. I bang with it.
Yeah. I guess when we were younger, we used to carry a bottle of Crown everywhere.
We here at the Splashcast support this. This will fall under the category of beverages. And we need those, specifically some of us who are struggling through today with a co-host is going completely unhinged like I am. That will probably be me shorter or sooner rather than later. And until then, let's go.
I ain't even referencing nothing. Like you.
I know how the end of this show goes. I know it.
Hey, man. What sucks is Kevin Durant actually got hurt, man. He's out at least 2 weeks with an MCL sprain. Is actually upgraded to 4 weeks, and he'll be reevaluated at 2 weeks, which means it's probably going to be 6 weeks. This sucks for the Nets because they have won 18 out of 20 games. KD and Kyrie look like what we thought KD and Kyrie were going to look like.
This is devastating because they can turn it on clearly. They were one of the worst teams in the East, and then they were like, oh, we're done being one of the worst teams in the East. We're now one of the best teams in the NBA. And then he's hurt again. Yeah. And, we've seen this this is with DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, the 2 weeks, evaluated in 2 weeks, which, best case scenario is 4 weeks. And then probably ends up being 6 weeks. And on top of that, you probably get one of those PRP injections. And I'm not.
Man, he's 33.
Not been a fan of those. Every time I see PRP injection, I'm like, uh-oh. That's right before they're gonna try that maybe 2 or 3 more times, then your season just gonna be over.
And he's 33, man. Like, I mean, and he's coming off the Achilles. Luckily, his game is so evolved that he doesn't really have to jump. Like, I mean, he does jump, and we have modern medicine, but he don't have to jump. He can just shoot over you because he's 7 feet.
He's just so tall and skinny.
But his game is smooth. But
Yes.
It sucks, man. Do the Nets? Well, how far do the Nets fall?
We need to fall right behind the Hawks for sure. That would be ideal.
Unless you have to play, unless he comes back and you play, unless he comes back at the end by the playoffs and plays us in the play-in round, then that would suck.
That would be terrible. Once again, the pressure's back on Ben Simmons.
I didn't even think about that.
You got to be it. You didn't have to be it while KD was here. He's gone. You got to be the man. You're getting paid a ton of money. You can't be Draymond.
Yes, you can. Well, they need you to be Draymond. Just be Draymond.
He doesn't. No, because his heart.
Oh, because KD's hurt. Yeah, he's got to score.
Yeah.
He got to score.
And I mean, for what you're getting paid, you should score a lot.
Well, obviously, he's not paid to score. So.
But hell, he ain't doing much of nothing else.
He played defense.
Their defense is not good.
No, it's not. Hey, man, let's talk about some dumb basketball real quick.
I don't know why they allow this, and I don't. This is coaching.
You know who started
This is just
it, don't
purely
you?
coach. Yeah, your boy Trey.
Trey started
But
it. So the 24-second shot
player,
clock doesn't
go ahead.
start. I'm sorry. The 24-second clock doesn't start until before 2 minutes until. Damn, you got the wrong link. Until you touch the ball. But the game clock still runs if it's over 2 minutes. So, for some odd reason, LaMelo and the Hornets decided to have like a Mexican standoff and not actually do anything and just let the clock run. Now, of course, they were also down 29 points. So, probably just didn't care.
Yeah, but if you're the defense, you can't just not even attempt to play defense. You're just killing time now. I'm not doing that, and I might just get in trouble. But there's no way I'm just standing here and just run the clock out like it's the elementary school game. No, you have to do something, bro.
What
You're giving up.
Oh. Also, we already finished the HBCU segment, but we did just get some news. In the SWAC MEAC Challenge, Hampton will be playing Grambling in Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. In Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. So that will be happening.
Funny. That is really funny.
That's an odd game. That's an odd place to play that game.
No, I mean it's not really. It's actually ideal, and it's just like when Howard played at Audi Stadium.
Where's Audi Stadium?
That's a soccer stadium.
No, where is it?
That's where It's in D.C. That's where Hampton Howard
It's in D.C. They going to play in Harrison, New Jersey.
Which is, I mean, it's New York. It's the New York Red Bulls. It's right there. Soccer stadiums are actually ideal stadiums because they're not.
I'm not really talking about the soccer stadium. I'm really talking about.
It's the New York Red Bulls. That's the team. It's right there.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. Whatever you want. Whatever you say, man. I hope that somebody. It'd be cool if the Splash Cast could be in attendance there.
You remember they used to play in the Meadowlands, so this is kind of the same.
Yeah, thing. You're right. The Meadowlands is in New Jersey too. You're right.
Exactly. It's just, well, there's no Meadowlands anymore, and you just getting a better deal for all parties involved.
Yeah. But back to dumb basketball. We were talking about this, but before we finish that, let's talk about
this.
Dumb
This is not dumb basketball.
Norwood and I are having a debate, guys. Norwood thinks that Fred VanVleet wanting $130 million and turning down $110 million extension from the Raptors It's justified.
$14 million.
114. It's justified. You feel that Fred VanVleet should go be $130 million contract. He should be. The thing is, how long though? How long should the contract be?
So he probably wants 4 years, $130 million. And my thought process is, he's been with the team already, so there's team continuity. He's been a good basketball player. Sure, the 130 might be a little bit higher. Number one, they started at 119. If you start at 119, know you're gonna go up. You didn't start out with your best offer. If you did, you're a terrible negotiator. And you're in Toronto. This is not a place notorious for getting free agents. I don't think that they actually have ever had any free agents come there. So
Kawhi Leonard just went there in 2019 and won a championship.
You said what?
Kawhi Leonard just went there in 2019 and won a championship.
Wasn't he traded there? He was traded there for DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
not a free agent destination. It's cold as hell. Yeah. And we've never had another free agent show up there. So, yeah, you got to pay a little bit more. It's the same thing in Utah. If we have a player there, we got to keep him.
So you think he should be paid more than Jalen Brunson?
Yeah. That was never a question. He was never not going to get paid more than Jalen Brunson. He's
You
going to
think
get
he's
paid
worth
after
30?
Jalen Brunson.
You think
Yeah.
he's worth $32.5 million a year?
I mean, that value, that can get tricky.
Deported from San Antonio.
But being that he's in Toronto and you don't have another way to get a guard better than him, well, hell yeah. That's what the market is. And if Jalen Brunson got paid that, know the next year, the next guy's going to get paid a little bit more. It's always going to go up because the salary cap is going up.
Man, you know what? We'll never hate on no black man getting no money. Shout out to his agent fighting like Jordan Clarkson to get him his money.
And before we get to Clarkson, who is always ready to pop off,
since 2017.
People need to rethink NBA money. What you used to think, the players who used to be like the $13 to $17 million guys, they're now the $20 million guys, $20 to $25 million guys.
Whew.
Oh,
weeks away.
It's bad and worse. But yeah, so everything that you think about NBA money, probably add $3 to $5 million on it a year, and that's what that person, what you think they're worth, is probably what they are worth now. Add $3 to $5 million.
Man, you know that sucks though. So if he gets 130, how much you think DeJounte gonna want?
DeJounte is an all-star, and I think DeJounte sees. I mean, yeah.
I just said how much you think he's gonna get.
He's probably gonna want about the same thing, 130.
If DeJounte is an all-star, and he's gonna get paid after Fred VanVleet, I think he's gonna want more money than Fred VanVleet.
Well, I think DeJounte also understands I can't take all the money.
What makes you think you understand that?
If that was the case, then you should have stayed with the Spurs. But you don't want to be a part of a rebuild. So if you don't want to be a part of a rebuild, then you have to understand that you can't have all the money. You can't have both. And he said he didn't want to be a part of a rebuild. Or you can get rid of Trey. That's best case scenario for me. If you can get somebody to take Trey, and we get somebody and make you the point guard, yeah, I'm with that.
Bro, you hate Trey
Jaylen Brown. No, I just like Jaylen Brown way more.
They are not trading Jaylen Brown from the Eastern Conference Finals number 1 seeded team. They are not doing that.
Zach LaVine?
Not for Trey. No. I said Trey. I said sign him in free agency, and you said no.
Yeah, but I didn't think the Trey was going to shoot like this. I mean, that's a compliment. I thought you was going to be better than this.
That is a disrespectful compliment. That's what you tried to say.
I had higher hopes for you.
But let's
I expected so much more out of you.
Chris, you got to stop smoking that Jaylen Brown dope. He's good though. But 2007.
Hey, that's the same thing they said about us getting DeJounte Murray. And then what happened? You got to think about it.
I don't think
you
so.
Have to.
I think that DeJounte. Oh, you did say you wanted DeJounte Murray.
Thank you. I said, hey, man, it would be great to have him. They were like, hey, it never happened. Then what happens? DeJounte Murray, Atlanta Hawks.
So they're asking, you think DeJounte Murray is willing to take less money than Fred VanVleet?
I think that he's willing to take around the same amount. I mean, you're next to a Supermax. It's only so much money.
So, yes, no?
Yes.
So,
I mean, we're not paying. We can't pay John $125, pay him $150, and trade $35 billion. We are, and not be under the tax. You will have no team if you. Now, I do think that. I mean, since we're talking about it, I think that this bogey's probably last year.
Yeah, I mean, they can move money around. It's all about the draft at that point, or a young player that you can get.
But I feel like for what bogey gives you, and add an extra $20 million, they're gonna be like, nah, we'll take AJ Griffin.
Oh yeah, 100%. They'll definitely take AJ Griffin. Man, why does Jordan Clarkson like to fight so much? I mean, he don't even really like to fight so much. I just say that he's ready to fight at all times. There is no chest to chest. Like, don't run up on him.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And this is another guy who I wanted on the team for 100 years. I said, hey, man, we could really use a guy like Jordan Clarkson. He gonna re-sign with Utah. I'm so pissed about that.
He just turned down an extension.
You're making a mistake.
He turned down an extension this year.
Yeah, but he's signing back up with them.
After the season, you think he's gonna sign back up?
Yes. They're not talking about trading him. They're talking about an extension with him. He sees what he got now. We got what's his name? Colin Sexton. Him. You got Lauri Markkanen, who's playing like a new human, and you have Walker Kessler, who's now averaging more blocks than Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
And Kelly Olynyk falls in there somewhere too. And I think he understands that Danny Ainge has already started to put together a little team. Yeah, I'll stick around. And he can shoot every shot that he wants to in Utah. It's only him and Colin Sexton and Lauri.
Walker Kessler, yeah, fair. Quick pivot. Watching this Phoenix Suns Golden State Warriors game, I didn't think at this point last year or 2 years ago or even last year that I would see the Phoenix Suns and not know who anybody is on the court. There's no Chris Paul, no Devin Booker. I guess I do know one person. It's Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig, Steph Curry's brother-in-law. I don't know his name. This is an awful game. This game is awful.
Ain't Steph back tonight too?
Yep, Steph is back. Still a bad game. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the basketball segment of the episode 85, the Around the League edition, Tuesday night Raw, not Monday night Raw. Jared Vanderbilt. Yeah, that's the person I said. The Hawks tried to trade John Collins for Lauri Markkanen and Jared Vanderbilt. That's crazy.
Well, they said they were never getting up Lauri, even if they were to give us John Collins. Even if they got John Collins, Lauri was not in the deal.
No, it wasn't. But as I said, we come to the end of the basketball segment. We are now going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to the NFL segment. We're going to break up the football segment into two.
Yes, yeah. We definitely going to take a break between. Hey, Falcons did their job, though.
Oh, they did. The Falcons did their job. Yep. Reach.
The smallest of victories in my life right now.
Call back to the last episode for your help, for your happiness. It's okay. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Florida sucks. Bye. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final segment, aka the first sub-segment of football, where we are going to talk about the NFL playoff picture, as well as everything going on around the league of episode 85 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition, Tuesday Night Raw. Couldn't normally broadcast on Monday night because we were watching what? The Georgia Bulldogs go 15-0, back-to-back national champions, as the world watched and most hated, including my co-host, who was going for the team in purple and black that he has the colors on today to sport his sorrow. It's okay. Historic.
It's not planned, but I'm okay with it.
It's subconscious.
If y'all lose, boy, I'm going to tell you. That's the reason. Just enjoy it, man. I want you to have the time of your life.
Another 24-pack bet.
We gonna have bet 1,000 beers for the end of next season. I ain't got no coach. I ain't got no nothing.
Oh man. I don't know. I'll come back to that. I don't know.
Go ahead, shoot, bro. Shoot.
It's too vulgar. I can't. It deals with gator bait and all that. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen,
win the second championship and just end the podcast. We don't even make it to 100 episodes. Messing with you.
Second championship in a
We're
row.
at 85.
85. Ladies and gentlemen, it is playoff time in the NFL. This is when some people say the real football begins. A lot of seeds. Wow, let's change the vernacular on that. All of the seeding is complete.
I was listening like, excuse me? You said what?
Woo!
That's
Boy,
crazy.
stop. Boy, you talk about you can visualize somebody stopping in their tracks.
I have made a mistake. Let me stop.
Oh, Lord.
I should
But anyway.
not go further. Do not go on.
Anyway, my bracket is somewhat intact. I still have the Eagles. I had them at the number 1 seed. I did have San Francisco at number 2, I believe. I think I had Tampa Bay at 3 and Dallas at... No, I didn't have Dallas making the playoffs. And Sneaky was absolutely livid. I did not have the Giants, nor did I have the Seahawks. But it happened. This is the NFC, of course. This is the game of all 3 games. You have Seattle versus San Francisco, the New York Giants versus Minnesota, and Dallas versus Tampa Bay. Which team will be upset in the first round in the NFC for you?
I'm picking chalk.
Really?
Tampa Bay is going to beat Dallas because Dallas is... This is the thing. Dallas has played so poorly, they actually are owed a good game. And this would be a really good game for them to win. But I know them. And until proven otherwise, I don't trust them.
Well, neither
So,
does
yeah, I'm
Stephen A,
picking
dog.
Tampa Bay. Go back. Whoa. Yeah, go back. I just don't trust the Giants and Danny Dimes. Now, I also have told everybody all season, I think that the Vikings are big mid. But I just think that Justin Jefferson probably walks them all home. And unfortunately, like Pete said earlier today, you're playing the Niners. The Shanahan's going to coach themselves into a win. Players just show up and do as you're told.
So this is probably the worst matchup for Dallas, in my opinion, because Tampa Bay's defense is starting to kick it in the third gear. Don't let that Falcons game fool you. While we do count that as a win, we count that as experience for Ritter. We know that they sat a lot of people, especially after the first quarter.
I don't think this is the worst scenario for them. I think they probably lose to Minnesota. I think
Dallas?
they definitely lose to San Francisco. Hell yeah.
Dallas beat Minnesota out this year, I think. Now they definitely lose to San Francisco.
I'm talking about the next game, playoff game and regular season. We know if anybody knows the difference, it is the Cowboys.
Well, I don't think they were ever going to play San Francisco because I always knew San Francisco was the top 2 team. So I always thought that Dallas. Once the season started, after the season started, I saw Dallas challenging for the NFC East title or being the first wild card because everybody else was just so bad, and they started off so good. I think Dak Prescott gets a lot of flack for these interceptions recently, except for the Washington game. I have to. That's like the end piece of bread that I got to throw away in this argument. Like, a lot of his interceptions have been tips, tipped at the line of scrimmage.
He's tied for the league lead.
Yeah. But that last game against the Commandos was just, with all of this on the line, was just inexcusable. Inexcusable. I mean, he threw a pick 6 that looked like when the dude from TCU beat the Michigan receiver. I thought Kyle Fuller. I thought he was the receiver on that route. I was like, dang, when he start playing offense? Dak threw it right to him.
I mean,
T.Y. Hilton looked like the 35-year-old T.Y. that he is. I mean, he's good for maybe a big play a game, but they are struggling at wide receiver. You have DeeDee Lamb, but they have the turnovers are not just on Dak. What is it, Turpin? I think he had a fumble.
Hey, you can say it's not on him, but you get paid a ton of money. The responsibility is going to come to your door, my friend. It's either y'all win or you lose. It's that simple.
And it's going to look real bad for Dak because they actually have a really good defense this year. So it's going to look, and he's putting them in bad situations. It's going to look real bad for Dak if you have this good of a defense and you're the reason they trick it off.
And off it has been tricked. And it's so unfortunate to have to go against Touchdown Tom in the playoffs. The odds are already stacked against you. But maybe, just maybe, they finally show up. They owe the world a game, for sure.
Yep, 100%. We won't pick the games. We'll pick the games on Saturday, of course, for Saturday Morning Live. But I am looking forward to how Geno Smith plays against San Francisco. Geno came out of nowhere. Geno Smith cashed out in a major way. Most of his contract was incentives. By playing 80% of the snaps and making the playoffs, Smith earned an additional $1.1 million, and he earned all of his incentives throughout the year. Got $3.5 million. Most of the contract was incentives. Shout out to Geno. They wrote him off. Did right back. Great story. I'll let you know right now. I think that this is where it ends for you, brother.
That is my next question. I mean, since you running it back with him next year?
Yeah, I think you gotta give him a chance.
Yes, sure. I think you're.
But you gotta face this man right here, though. Oh my God. I don't even.
Pop Warner.
He ran from all the way over there and hit that man. Boo!
Superman, full flying in the air. This is why. Nope. This is when I ought to quit right there. That'd have been my last football. You hit me flying in the air, we are done. Retirement is the only thing that I'm interested in hearing about. I'm out.
So you asked, do you bring Geno Smith back? I think you do. I think you do, and you draft a quarterback if it's there. Remember, they have Denver's picks. So if it's there, maybe you get Anthony Richardson. If he's going to be a first-round quarterback, I don't know if you get him at 3. But, I mean,
No, you're not getting him at 3.
But I could see Anthony Richardson going there and sitting behind Geno for 2 years.
I like that I've at least converted you at first.
No. You haven't converted me at shit. All of these people are stupid. All of these people are dumb. All of these people are idiots. So by the idiots saying that Anthony Richardson is going in the first round, if you can trade down and get him and he fits your system, It's like Huntley behind Lamar Jackson. Might as well. Hope for the best. If you're going to be dumb, be dumb.
That man's a first-round draft pick. Easily. You
Not because of his talent. Not because of his talent.
So why would they draft him then?
Because he's a fast Jamarcus Russell.
Continue.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're 100% wrong. And what does a fast Jamarcus Russell even look like? What is that?
Anthony Richardson. He can throw the ball really far. He can run really fast, but he's not a good quarterback.
That's a problem I like to have.
I'm sure you would. You would like to have a really fast, far-throwing quarterback that should be a tight end. You have a really fast Felipe Franks.
Can we get to the AFC quarterbacks, Lord Jesus?
No. Let's talk about, I got a question for you. What do the 49ers do since we here? What do the 49ers do with Brock Purdy?
Is it? Why? They put him on the bench. They mortgaged their future for Trey Lance. What are you talking about?
Oh, Shanahan. I mean, talk about just being an awful manager of picks and evaluator of talent. Like, why would you? I mean, I really can't say he's an awful evaluator of talent because Trey Lance just hasn't played.
You say that by yourself.
You hasn't played. But, I mean, if he couldn't beat out Jimmy Garoppolo, they started him because they had to. They didn't start him because he was better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Otherwise, they would have traded Jimmy Garoppolo. They started him because he couldn't beat out Jimmy Garoppolo.
And I think Jimmy G gets a job somewhere else and started next year just like Baker.
Yeah, sure. And Anthony Richardson gets drafted in the first round. A whole lot of bullshit.
Okay, so let's talk about the real issue here. Where are all the good quarterbacks?
Oh, you trying to move us on? Trying to move on?
No, I'm legit. I mean, I wasn't, but it's something that's because I asked you a week ago, and I don't think you understood what I was asking. But I was like, there's a shortage of good quarterbacks, period.
They're all here.
Not a good quarterback draft.
They're all in AFC.
And so these are only 6 good quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's it. There are no good college quarterbacks either.
Exactly, which is why Anthony Richardson is the first round draft pick. But the NFC. I mean, in the NFC, who in the NFC? You got Tom Brady. Nobody else in the NFC South. The NFC East is Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and everybody, Daniel Jones, and everybody else. I mean, Dak Prescott leads the league in interceptions. Jalen Hurts is, as many people say, I still think he still has work to do as a quarterback, but he has a really good team around him who is smart and just they run the read option and put a bunch of weapons around him, which is smart. But as a pure quarterback, I think he still has work to do. I think he can be better, and I think he will be better. He hasn't shown, but in terms of top-tier quarterbacks in the league, I don't think he's there yet. So then you have the NFC North. We just saw Aaron Rodgers go kaput. You have Jared Goff. You don't think he's a top 10? Is Jared Goff a top? I mean, I guess he's a top 10 quarterback because we can't name anybody past these 6.
Oh, if you look at the stats, he's a top 7 quarterback. If you look at his stats at the end of the season, shit.
So you got Jared Goff. So you saying Jared Goff is? You think he's? You got Jared Goff. So
and
that's
you
2.
got Matt Stafford, who's hurt. You assume.
What? Say that again.
Well, I'm saying now at this point we have to move to people. Somebody else has to be
You said
good.
where are all the good quarterbacks? And I'm going through. You got Kirk Cousins. You don't think he's good. You think Matt Stafford is good. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to retire.
But I think those are like your 8, 9, 10 guys. 11. It's just so many Dak level guys in the NFL right now. That's what I'm really getting at. And even in college, there's not that many quarterbacks that we really believe are world beaters outside of Caleb Williams. There are a lot of questions around Bryce and CJ Stroud.
I think CJ Stroud played himself into the number 1 quarterback slot.
See, everything I see says Bryce first.
Yeah. I think Bryce's size is his height and his weight are gonna come back to bite him. Once they actually measure him at the combine, unless he just doesn't go, which he probably
And
don't
I
have
hate to say it, but that first quarterback slot is not a good job. It's the Texans. So you might be good and just end up going to the Texans and end up being sorry as hell for being in the Texans.
Yeah, but I
Unless
mean, we're
you're,
talking about being
good at
the
Deshaun
best
Watson.
quarterback in the league. I mean, best quarterback in the draft. And
This might be a draft where it doesn't pay to be a better quarterback to start out with. I think that whoever gets that Texans job, I don't think that anybody's good enough to right that ship.
yeah, they should take that franchise, poverty ass franchise. But
Then next, the Colts got to be looking for a quarterback and the Commanders. But I think that both of those jobs are better than the Texans job.
well, the Texans don't want to keep a coach, so that's why. But your original question was, where are all the good quarterbacks? We can name 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and Trevor Lawrence quarterbacks. And I think Trevor Lawrence is ascending to the Dak tier. The Jalen Hurts tier, the Jalen Hurts Dak tier. I think he's ascending there.
Are they in the same tier this season right now?
Who?
Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott.
I mean, Dak Prescott has more interceptions.
I don't think that Jalen and Dak should be for this.
Oh, Jalen and
this
Dak.
pro season.
Oh no, that did not. Jalen is a better quarterback. But what I'm saying is, there's not a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFC. Not at all. West, we went through the North, we went through the South, we went through the East. There's 3, 2, 3.
Which is the reason I think the guy
And one of them
Baker
is
Mayfield
77.
and Jimmy Garoppolo are gonna get another shot. It's not like it's a bustling crop of guys that are coming into the pros. It's nobody.
And but that just sucks. That sucks. But anyway, speaking of Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, they actually pulled it off. Started off 3-7, ended 9-8. They went 6-1 to end the season.
Is this a good season for him?
Yes, they went to the playoffs. Yes.
Was it a good season for Trevor Lawrence?
Yes, he's the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars that made it to the playoffs.
So if we would have made it to the playoffs, we would have gave it to our quarterback as having a good season?
Mariota, if he took us to the playoffs, yeah, you would have to be like, damn, Mariota had a good season, took the Falcons to the playoffs.
I hate that.
It's the same thing. Trent Dilfer had a good season when the Ravens went to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Danny Dimes had a good season?
He had a better season than last. Yeah. Danny Dimes didn't have a bad season.
Oh, these seasons I don't believe in. It's a lot of teams this season.
You don't have to believe in them, but what I'm saying is,
I don't think you deserve these as a good season. I think that Trevor Lawrence maybe played at best half of one good season. That's not a good season to me. Sorry.
Not many quarterbacks play a full. When you have a full good season, it's normally a great season. Everybody has their lulls.
Yeah, but I think that as much
Trevor
as
Lawrence threw for 4,000 yards.
I think he's had a pretty good season, wire to wire.
Trevor Lawrence threw for 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions.
I guess. I don't like it. Something in my gut, but my gut been steering me right lately. Every time I trust my gut, I'm right. I knew TCU was.
You knew that's where I was going. Yeah, you knew that's where
Every time I said that these teams we knew are trash, were trash, I have been right in my soul, and I'm trusting my gut going into 2023.
What is your gut telling you?
Did Trevor Lawrence ain't have a good season? He had a mediocre season. Danny Dimes had a mediocre season.
So we gotta talk about the AFC. We talked about the quarterbacks, man. These are some good games too. Buffalo and Miami. They split the season series. Anytime division foes play against each other in the playoffs, it's always going to be a good game. I think Buffalo is like Super Saiyan charged up right now.
Yep, and Miami, and they're gonna play Tua, and that's gonna be stupid. Buffalo gonna blow.
They're not gonna play Tua. They can't play Tua anymore. I don't think they can play Tua anymore this year.
We gonna see. I definitely don't think that they should reevaluate it specifically after you almost had a player die. But it's the NFL. We're gonna see.
He's home though. He's been discharged from the hospital and is returning to Buffalo. Per physicians at the university, they said it's a miracle. Hey man, this is probably one, we give all thanks and praise to the Most High above. Two,
to the Most High.
Thank you to the training staff and hey, Quay Walker, you sure enough should have been kicked out the game. You can't do that for the Green Bay Packers. Push a trainer. That's where I was gonna go, but I didn't say nothing. Where did your gut tell you about the Vanderbilt game? And it's Josh, who's a Georgia fan, so you just gotta digress. But shout out to Hamlin.
Hey, you know what? No, hold on. My gut telling me that you're gonna be looking for a new quarterback soon, since y'all paid Roquan $100 million, since you got so many jokes. Key. Laugh at that.
I was gonna get there next.
No, since we all laughing, everybody got their jokes. Come on in. It's gonna be great when you see Lamar looking like Mike Vick for the Falcons. You're gonna be sick, boy. You're gonna be coming down there doing the dirty bird on your ass too. Oh my God.
But DeMar Hamlin, the Bills have worked out an agreement with the NFL and NFL Players Association to pay DeMar his full contract despite being placed on IR. The thing is, I think that's great. The bigger conversation has to do with healthcare and how the NFL takes care of their players post their career, when normally they have more health issues because they played in the NFL. That's the bigger conversation. I think it's been said that they get healthcare for only 5 years after they retire or quit, and then they're on their own from there on out. Plus, DeMar's contract is 4 years, $3.64 million. So I think that's like $800,000, almost $900,000 a year. I'm pretty sure he was drafted in 2021. So he still had 2 years left on his deal, 2021, 2022, 2023, 24. He probably was going to be up for a contract extension because he's a starter. I think the better thing would be to average out some type of compensation for re-signing, or what he would have been re-signing, and maybe give him a percentage of that. So if a starting safety in the league, the average starting safety, let's say he's whatever he's ranked, let's say he's ranked right in the middle, and the starting safety is $20 million a year, and he ranks right in the middle at $10 million, then you just give him $8 million on top of his contract. I think that's something that you do that's a good gesture. Again, because you don't know what could happen. But, I mean, he literally did nothing wrong. He didn't make a bad – I mean, he just literally had a heart attack on the field and flatline. I think that is the best thing to do. To me, personally. That's the bigger conversation.
Buffalo is pretty good about taking care of their players. I will say that.
Are they?
Just in general. Yeah. Like, the Buffalo people love – Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and all of those guys, they still are in Buffalo a lot.
Yep. But this is why I said Buffalo's charged up Super Saiyan. Of course, y'all know that Nyheim Hines, for this game, they returned the opening kickoff back that they dedicated to DeMar Hamlin. And it had been 3 years and 3 months since the last kickoff return for a touchdown.
That's wild.
So for all of that to happen, you know, they're at this. A lot of stuff happens in sports with momentum and belief. And when you start to believe that you have the Most High, or you're blessed, or this is something for a bigger cause, you're never out of the game. They always think they're going to come back.
And I mean, and you have Josh Allen at quarterback and Stephon Diggs at wide receiver. That definitely helps too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that they're. And good luck, Miami. Y'all gonna need it.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck, Miami. Where else we got? What other games we got? So then we got Baltimore and Cincinnati. That's the AFC North. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. Before we get to those games, shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. My man Tom. We were worried. We were worried. Y'all started off pretty bad, but they had a winning streak to end the season at 9-8. Lo and behold, they started throwing the ball to George Pickens, who said, "Throw me the damn ball," and they started winning.
I will say that this is coaching. This is no matter what, getting my team to doing, like, to operating as a business, like playing good football on a regular basis. You may not be the best team, your talent may not always be there, but if you can go out every year and never have a losing season, you're coaching your ass off. Because there's so many things that are completely out of your control, as far as your team, as far as the rules, injuries, etc. If you find a way every year to just not lose, this is mind blowing.
It is, man.
And it feels like he's been coaching forever, because the Steelers have only had 3 coaches in the modern era.
That's what I'm saying. That was going to be my point. Like, they don't really get rid of coaches. But when you have a coach that never has a losing season, and it's very difficult. It's hard to fire him. And they don't chase. Like, they don't go and try to trade for a coach and try to, like, hit. The Steelers are the one organization that just stays the course. They stay the course.
They're kind of like the Lakers, and they'll never go a whole decade and just be terrible. They're going to find a way to compete for a championship. They're going to find a way, even if it doesn't look like it's going to work this year, in a year or two, they'll just have done something, and then mystically they're right back into it, which it look like they're building on right now.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, they're not too far off like the Falcons. They got a rookie wide receiver, rookie second-year running back who's really, really good. Najee Harris was going off at the end of the year.
He's a man.
They have Kenny Pickett, who they think is going to be their starting quarterback. I don't know. I want to say franchise, because franchise means they're going to be there forever. I think he's going to be the starting quarterback.
You got to believe. If you drafted him, you've got to believe that.
No, you don't. You think? No, you don't. Depend. I mean, they drafted him at what, 20-something? He was the first. Well, he was the first quarterback taken, I believe, right?
Don't get me a line on Kenny Pickett now. Don't not get me.
I mean, they don't. That's what I'm saying. They don't think that. I don't think they think he's the franchise quarterback yet. Because I mean, they started Mitchell Trubisky. They pulled him. He was a healthy scratch. So I mean, I think they think
Mitchell Trubisky, another just scam, just a pure scam, purest, unadulterated, uncut. He's a scam from day one. And you know who I really always think about Trubisky is old boy May, who's the quarterback for UNC now. I feel like he's the same person, just never really good.
Didn't they both go to UNC?
Yes, that's the reason I think they're the same person. Just it's so many scammy quarterbacks in the NFL right now who I never once believed in for 1 minute, and then they get to the NFL and never be good. Sam Darnold, John Parker Wilson Taylor Thomas, whatever his name is. He got
nobody believed in that.
He got to get so far away from New York Jets. At least it won't be a tough conversation with him, bro. We can tell you don't want to be here, and our fans don't want you here. Can we get where would you like to go, and how can we get you there? We're willing to facilitate. And this, speaking of quarterbacks getting the hell on, hey Lamar, go ahead and pack your bags, because they paid Roquan Smith $100 million. Also, before I even let you speak, I want to spend a special fuck you to the Chicago Bears. You guys are 10 types of terrible. You had Khalil Mack wasted his time, and you had Roquan Smith that wasted his time, and now you think you're finna get the boy from Alabama and do what? Waste his time. If I was him, I would go full Eli. you can go to hell. I'm never coming to Chicago. I don't even like bears. I don't like white bears. I don't like black bears. I don't like polar bears. I don't like Teddy Ruxpin. Ain't none of that. No. I don't even wear Jordans. I don't know nothing about Chicago. I don't know nothing. I don't like deep dish pizza. Nothing.
My bad. Excuse me. Yeah.
No, you good.
I didn't mean to. I've been.
You think that if I'm Will Anderson, I'm offended if you think that's his name, right?
Yeah.
It's
Speaking
no.
of
Hey,
which-
do not call me. No. Hell no. Hell, I've seen you ruin guys who are really good. Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith. Hell no. Do not call my. Hey, don't call my phone. Anybody up there can. No. Okay. Let me tell you, who can't call my phone on this little list. Chicago, don't call me. Texas, hell no, don't call me.
Pull
Cardinals,
Eli.
you better get rid of your quarterback before you call me. And matter of fact, that's the
AJ.
whole left side. Jim Irsay, you are on drugs. Do not call me.
Literally.
Raiders, also. No. Matter of fact, the only teams that I'm allowed to draft me, Seattle, the Lions, the Falcons,
The Panthers and the Eagles.
Panthers. They got a little light racism in there too. And yeah, the Eagles. But them other, do not call my phone. Drop me. Hey, you put my name on that draft card if you want to. Nope. Reggie, I'm telling you, I thought about this all day today. If I were Will Anderson, I am Eli Manning.
Yeah,
No,
I wouldn't
you
go to the
can't even
Texans.
draft me. No, hell no.
I wouldn't go to the Texans just because they keep firing people. They can't keep anybody.
They
That's a
don't want
horrible
nobody.
organization.
Both of these coaches have done excellent jobs. Congratulations to David Tully coaching through that tough season, and congratulations to Lovie Smith and winning that damn football game.
They fired him for winning the game. That's why they fired him. To me,
They was gonna fire him anyway.
But I mean,
the
that-
win is inconsequential.
because they're gonna get the quarterback that they need. Well, they got Davis Allen, and I mean he's not
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills. He's not horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, now I did see that Chicago may be interested in trading, but if I'm Justin Fields, there is no way in hell that you're trading.
Hey, what's been floating around on ESPN NFL Network is that the Bears should just press the reset button and trade Justin Fields while they can still get like a first and third round pick.
For who?
Justin Fields,
Where?
just trade him. This is when his value is highest.
Who paid it? Why would I pay a first and a third for Justin Fields today?
I think the Colts will pay. Well, the Colts have the what? Colts have the
Will
fourth
Levis.
pick.
Will Levis.
Raiders. They got
so
Darren
stupid.
Waller. They got Devontae Adams. They
They're
can
so
re-sign
stupid.
Josh
Well,
Jacobs.
Now, I know. Well, the reason that I would say probably that might be a place where you can trade up is they could get off of your boy Carr.
Mhm.
They could get the first round pick. They could go ahead and trade Devontae. They could just restart it because I think they're gonna trade Devontae Adams too. Yeah, and you could just kind of hoard a bunch of picks.
Let me tell you something. I'd be mad as hell if they trade Justin Fields for Devontae Adams. I'd be mad as hell if I was Justin Fields. I'd be mad as hell. You trade me from a team with no receivers to a team with no receivers. Oh man, I did talk about Josh Jacobs.
I mean, you gotta think that's been the story of his life though. Just one unfair situation to another unfair situation.
I know Ohio State was fair. He left Georgia and went to Ohio State and balled out. He was second.
What I'm
he was
talking
runner
about,
up.
Georgia, that was just
That was
Jake
stupidity.
Fromm.
That was Kirby Smart being from Bainbridge. We'll leave it there. I did talk about Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was actually I don't know. I think he won the rushing title this year, right? I believe he won the rushing title this year.
He did win the rushing title.
His 6-year-old son found his dad found his grandfather, Josh Jacobs' father, in pain and called 911. Marty Jacobs had open heart surgery the next day and remains hospitalized in intensive care. But he plans to watch Josh wrap up the rushing title today, which he did.
No. So what happened was, it all happened at the same time. His dad is sick at home.
About to watch the game.
Yes.
No.
Josh Jacobs.
This happened Wednesday.
Yeah.
He played
They
on
say
Sunday.
it happened Wednesday. For some reason I thought he was already sick, and then on Sunday while all this happened. But if I have my timeline off, I have my timeline off. But just thoughts and prayers. That's so much going on while you're trying to win a rushing title, and unfortunately play for one of the worst teams in the NFL. I can only imagine all of the things going on in his mind, especially between his dad's health and. I don't know what the Raiders are doing. That's a bad place to be.
Well, the Raiders are. Well, we know the Raiders. They're cleaning house. They are. They fired. Didn't they fire their GM last year? They got a new coach.
Yeah. I mean,
Mayock was awful. Mayock was awful anyway. Where do we want to go?
Never been
Let's
good,
go.
actually.
Huh?
Let's go ahead and holler at Dean Pease. Unfortunately, after 50 years of coaching, he will be retiring. It's not a lot you can say about this. You know, you coach for 50 years. It's not a whole lot more people can ask of you. And he did a lot in his 2 seasons with the Falcons, and not the greatest group of guys as far as athletes and talent.
Yeah, had him playing well at the end of the year, man.
Him and Arthur Smith were good at getting the absolute most out of what you got.
Yeah. I just hope that our GM, and I have faith in our GM, and Terry Fontenot, go ahead, brother, and Arthur Smith are smart enough to go find a defensive assistant, either promote from within. I don't know any of our assistants. Either promote from within or go find a defensive coordinator who runs a similar scheme to what Dean Pease runs. I don't want to see us go hire somebody that will go from a 3-4 to a 4-3, because we have the personnel that we've drafted for the last 2 years to be in the 3-4, the 3-4 under to be exact. I think we're gonna make moves, but you also have to make sure you hire somebody. How we always talk about, and we'll get to the Cardinals, how quarterbacks have input on coaches, head coaches. I think your best defensive player should have input on the defensive coordinator hire. And I think Grady Jarrett, in order to be happy, needs to be input on the defensive coordinator hire.
AJ Terrell too.
Yeah, and AJ Terrell. I think they're both frustrated.
You're gonna have to pay that guy here. Yeah, you want him to want to be here.
Yeah, you gotta pay him. And you have that both of them are from Georgia too. So hopefully the Falcons listen and take heed to what I'm saying. Speaking of the Cardinals, your man, Cool Man Cliff got kicked off the cliff. He out of here. They kicked him away from Arizona. He has been fired. He just signed a contract extension 10 months ago, but the same issues that plagued him literally everywhere he's gone is happened here. They start off fast and then they miss the playoffs. Every year he's been there, they've started off fast and missed the playoffs. I think they might have made the playoffs first year. Every year. I have no sympathy. Y'all fired that black man after 1 year. Joseph, who is now in line to be head coach of, I think they're trying to interview him
wasn't
for.
That Steve Wilkes? Did they?
No, I don't think so. That was Joseph. It might have been Steve Wilkes.
But for me, I don't know why he was hired at USC. I don't know why he was hired.
No, it's Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes. Yeah, you're right. And Steve Wilkes about to be head coach of the Panthers. Ha! Y'all did the black man wrong, and he go get him a job.
I don't think that he should have ever been the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's unfortunate that he got paired with Kyler Murray. You know how I feel about Kyler. I don't feel like this situation is getting any better. I feel like Kyler can ask for the next. Now, the only thing that I can say that makes a lick of sense to me, and it comes with a bunch of asterisks, is only guy who I can assume that makes any sense for this job is Eric Bieniemy. I think that if you can't get Andy Reid, you got to get his second in command. You see what you got in Kyler. You see that Eric Bieniemy, you assume that he has some influence on the play calling, etc. He's probably the guy who can emulate that better than anybody, I would assume. But I haven't heard the most glowing things about Bieniemy from all coaches. I mean, from all players. And you already know Kyler comes with his own attitude, etc. That is the part that, to me, just
so here's the thing. I mean, you want Bieniemy to get a coaching job. Do you want? I mean, so the Chargers also fired. The Cardinals also fired Keem, their GM. So
well, they didn't fire him. He changed role. He pulled in Travis Schlenk.
Okay,
with the organization in a different role.
He needs a GM. So they need a GM. They need to fill that position, and they need a coach. So that means Kyler Murray probably is going to have input on the GM and the coach, I'm assuming. That's a lot of power for somebody that's kind of unproven.
Kyler. And I hate to say it, but every day it looks more and more the same. Trae Young and Kyler Murray.
Oklahoma? The Oklahoma connection?
It's everything. They about the same height. They both entitled. They both gonna get a coach fired. They both went to Oklahoma.
Yeah. The thing is, they stuck their neck out on this one. They hired Cliff Kingsbury. They traded who the number one draft pick that they had before, Josh Rosen, I think.
This is the biggest issue with black coaches is you go get this guy because he looks like the guy who should be coaching Kyler Murray. And it looks like some shit.
And I don't know. Again, I don't know who the Shanahan offensive coordinator is this year. Last year was Musty Mike. He went down to Miami and had the same year that Brian Flores had, except for he just started off fast and ended slow. Flores started off slow and ended fast.
And you have so many guys like.
But I don't know. I don't know who you get
Ryans,
offensively
who are just not getting shots because you won't give them to Cliff Kingsbury.
I don't know offensively who you get. I guess Eric Bieniemy is probably the best choice.
It makes the most sense. You got a mobile quarterback who likes to stay in the pocket-ish more of like who tries to play more of a traditional quarterback, just with movement. I think that's what Kyler would really like to do. I think that he more runs just because that right now is where he feels like he can make the most impact. But I think he would like to throw the ball more.
Yeah,
but
he definitely would.
I don't know if their personalities mesh.
Well,
and I don't think that they do, honestly.
We'll find out, man. And then to round out Bloody Monday, Jadeveon Clowney got dismissed after saying he was telling the Cleveland press that he's 95% sure that he won't be back in Cleveland.
That's one way to make it 100%.
He was dismissed from the team and subsequently cut. And he has been on record saying that they're trying to make Myles Garrett a Hall of Famer more than actually win ball games.
Well, Jadeveon, he's been one of those guys that I've just never been a fan of. I think that he has extremely low motor. I think that he's been gifted the opportunity to work with some of the best guys in the NFL on the opposite side. And I think that he's just been pretty average. I mean, not average, but for where he was drafted and his expectation, I think that his production has been relatively disappointing. Played with J.J. Watt. That was okay. He's also played next to Myles Garrett and still not a world beater. If you can't look like a world beater on the opposite side of those guys who are getting double teamed every play, then you're not very good. You might be good. You're surely not very good.
Hey man, shout out J.J. Watt on a great career. I think we covered it last week, but shout out J.J. Watt. Yeah, but Jadeveon Clowney. So would you take him on the Falcons? I mean,
I don't want his attitude.
I think he's on a prove it deal. I think he has to be.
Been on too many prove his deals. I know. I'm staying away from
against Cleveland. They signed him. He got a. I thought he got more than 1 year. I forgot about Seattle.
I don't want that dude on my team. Nobody ever has anything good to say after he leaves. He never leaves a place, and it's like, oh, because you don't have to leave a place and it be a shit show. You can leave and just say, hey, we're going in a different direction. Nobody ever has anything positive to say when he leaves, and he typically leaves in this type of fashion. The Falcons can't afford that type of stuff. We already
got a young team.
We need all the good chemistry we can get right now since we don't have the most talent. You can't have bad chemistry and no talent.
Yeah. Speaking of retirement, talk about J.J. Watt. You think Aaron Rodgers is out of there?
I don't understand why he would not be out of there.
Because he's owed $60 million next year is why. He has $60 million according to his contract next year. 60.
I mean, how much money do you already have? And I'm never going to say, do you need an extra $60 million? But
I have $60 million less than I have today.
Is you getting older, and every time you go out there, it's a risk.
Not the way he plays. You'll never see Aaron Rodgers take big hits.
You never plan to get punched in the face till you get punched in the face.
I think Aaron Rodgers is just as likely to take a big hit as Tom Brady.
You're right. I guess, but in both cases, at what point is enough enough?
I feel for Jordan Love in this situation. I think that they need to go ahead and let Jordan Love see what they got. The fact that he came in when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and played pretty well, I think that sped up the timeline a little bit.
You can't do anything as long as Aaron Rodgers is on the car. You can't do anything until Aaron Rodgers wants to do something. That's the issue.
And y'all did that. Y'all signed up for it. That's why everybody left.
It's not their decision to make.
Signed old ass Randall Cobb back like he was getting younger from the Texans. But you see that dude that he's hugging? They traded him away. Jamal Williams used to play for the Green Bay Packers, and they traded him away. And then he goes and make history by breaking Barry Sanders' single season rushing TDs record this year.
This is another one of those where whoever traded him, you got to be fired.
And Jamal you go into Green Bay,
excellent.
And the man that you traded breaks the record on your field and eliminates you from the playoffs.
Yep. And they went down. They went to Green Bay, and that was their singular objective because they were already out of the playoffs. Is to make sure Aaron Rodgers didn't make it to the playoffs. And if you can find it to trade Jamal Williams, I'm going to say two things. You're not a good evaluator of chemistry, and you're not a very good evaluator of good football players. You missed the boat twice.
See what AJ said? If Ronaldo is going for 200 M's, A-Rod is definitely showing up for 60. I can see it. But yeah, Jamal Williams, man, and he dedicated this game to his great grandfather who passed away. It gave us one of the best sound bites of the year. He's very authentic. Jamal Williams is. I'm gonna see if I can play that real quick. Let's see.
My great grandfather died on me. I'll just dedicate this to him. I'm just proud. I'm just grateful to do this for him. My grandfather, he was 92, but I'm just grateful for him to be in my life, and I'm grateful to be able to play football and do this for him. So,
flip the switch.
There's a lot of memories, a lot of emotion happening right now, but I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be able to play this game for my great-grandfather, and I'm glad that he's looking down on me, and I know I'm making him proud. Everybody already picked the Packers over us. Stop playing with us. That's all I got to say, man. Don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. Ooh, and Hollywood Brown. That's what I want. He is 100% authentic. He dresses like a Naruto character. He says he's from the Hidden Leaf Village, the Kazakazi of the Hidden Leaf Village. Goes out there, plays hard, wears his emotions on his sleeves, and then lets you know we ain't no punk. What's up? And then walks off the field.
and you traded this guy. How?
You had him and Aaron Jones with your 1-2 punch, and Dylan is good,
and you
but he's not
never
him.
met a guy who's like, you know what, that Jamal Williams guy, don't like him. Never.
Nope.
This is bad. This is things to get you fired.
It is, but it's not gonna get LaFleur fired. But I think Aaron Rodgers is out of there, man. But shout out to them, man. Shout out to them, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, I don't really want to give him those props, but I mean, shout out Mike Evans. Been real consistent. He decided to get another 1,000 yards this year. He got 200, 400 of them on the Panthers alone. So shout out to the Panthers for keeping his streak alive. He has been the model of consistency. 1,000 yards. He's had Jameis Winston. He's had Tom Brady. He's had, I think there's only 2 quarterbacks he's had, right? Jameis and Tom.
Yep. Now, and that's the thing that I wanted to talk about with this. It does matter what quarterback you're paired with as to how successful you're going to be. These last 2 years are the Tom Brady years. The other years are the Jameis Winston years. And as a receiver, touches and targets matter. Mm-hmm. That's the reason that it's so difficult for Lamar to get a wide receiver to want to come there. I have to be able to go somewhere where I can have this happen every year. And he's been fortunate enough to have 2 quarterbacks who can chuck it. And this is what you get when you have a consistent career of quarterbacks who can throw the ball and
good offensive coordinators. He's had Bruce Arians. Wait, was it Bruce Arians? Yeah, Bruce Arians, and then he also had Byron Leftwich, who also
you're exactly right,
could be a decent quarterback.
Man, it's about time for somebody to hire him. Man, 3 guys: Lou Riddick, Eric Bieniemy, and Byron Leftwich. Give him a chance.
D'Amico Ryans, you said him earlier too, but yeah.
Yep. Ooh, could you imagine? That would. Whoo! Could you imagine that coaching staff? Eric B. head coach, Byron Leftwich OC, Lou Riddick GM, D'Amico Ryans defensive coordinator.
No, only reason I couldn't is because you'd have an elevation for one person and a lateral for 2.
Yeah, but I mean, you would be doing something that would be different.
I mean, unless you're just trying to say this is the first time we've had an all-black coaching staff, then yeah.
Yes.
Then yeah,
exactly.
You do it. It comes with immense pressure, though. You have to succeed.
Oh, you mean like them being black individually is any less pressure?
It is. They're black collectively. They are black collectively.
Get fired no matter what. Look at David Tully and let me go make a drink, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end. I probably won't be speaking for the rest of the show.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Make a drink.
We've come to the end of the NFL sub-segment of the football segment.
Pray for me.
85 of the Splashcast Tuesday Night Raw. We are going to come back and cover the national championship game that happened between a team that scored 65 points and a team that scored 7. 72 points, I believe, was one of the highest scoring national championships in history, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. That'd be both teams be in the 30s normally? No, one team's in the 60s. Wild crazy. 5, 6, 7. Those 3 numbers make up the score. It's just 2 of them were on one side and 1 was on the other. Wild crazy.
Segment, my guy.
No. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all stay tuned. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for our final segment of episode 85 of the Splash Cast, the Around the League edition, Tuesday Night Raw, the NCAA football segments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You've seen, or you've been, if you're here watching with us, appreciate it. If you're listening, you've heard, seen the theme of this story. You know that Monday we said, hey, when we show up here Sunday we said when we show up here on Tuesday, somebody gonna be mad. You can hear by the jovialness in my voice versus the sad, melancholy look on his face, who is happy and who is sad. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, y'all go ahead, do me a favor before we get into this. I don't want to get into this at all. Please like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend. That's all I got. Tell people about the podcast. That's the least you could do. I'm struggling right now.
Man. But before we get there, shout out to the College Football Hall of Fame. Eric Berry, one of the better defensive backs in Tennessee in SEC history.
Very
Michael
good.
Bishop. Michael Bishop is a callback. You had to be really watching football to know about Michael Bishop. He was a beast.
He was good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reggie Bush, which is wild crazy to me. Reggie Bush can go to the Hall of Fame, but they cannot give him his Heisman back. Wild crazy. Dwight Freeney, Syracuse. Robert Gallery, all the way down. Y'all, Michael James.
Jeez.
Other people like Luke Kuechly, all the way down to Mark
Y'all
Richt.
do not remember like the Michael James playing college football. He was a monster.
He was fast. And then, of course, you have a guy to acknowledge Norwood's favorite player, Tim Tebow. Quarterback for the Florida Gators.
Timothy, Big Teams. Greatest college football player of all time. Big Teams.
All time. But then you got Paul Johnson and Mark Richt. Got to shout out to both of them. Paul Johnson has ties to Jarek. Mark Richt has ties to Georgia. So shout out to them. What y'all know about Brian Westbrook at Villanova? He was good and nobody knew. Nobody knew that he was good. But Brian Westbrook as well. Troy Vincent. Now, I didn't know he went to Wisconsin. Corey Moore. But
that's the only victory I got.
Hey, man. This is why a lot of people think that John Harbaugh is going to the pros. He could be suspended up to 6 games for recruiting violations. The NCAA is investigating Michigan for alleged violations during the COVID-19 recruiting dead period, sources say. He could miss 6 games. Of course, the 6 games are East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers at home. And then also at Minnesota and at Nebraska. So if he were to stay, those 6 games, they are going to be heavily favored to win. And he'll come right back for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's a Tom Brady suspension. That's a vacation. You don't want me to do what? You don't want me to come to work till I need to come to work? That's fine. I won't come to work.
Yes, sir. So we'll keep our eyes on that, because if he actually goes to the pros, I think, if I'm not mistaken, even when he comes back, he'll still have to serve that suspension. No matter if he comes back to college, he'll have to serve that suspension. I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But we'll keep our eye on that, man. They played a hell of a game in the college football playoff against TCU, and TCU beat them 51-45. TCU solidified themselves as the number 3 team in the country, and they beat Michigan.
Did not.
And then they had to play Georgia.
I knew that was a setup. From a mile away, because nobody believed that TCU was the number 3 team in the country. Michigan,
College football
we're
playoff.
gonna go here. You're trash. After what Georgia did to TCU, it shows me that you're exactly who I thought you were all season. And I kept telling Reggie, I don't care what anybody says. Michigan is not a top 4 team in the country. And they lose to TCU, and then TCU proves exactly what I already thought. They're not a top 4 team in the country either. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like I said, I was 100% right. Alabama should have been in top 4. And I don't think after watching these games that there is any person who has a doubt or a shadow in their mind that Alabama was one of the top 4 teams in the country.
I'm so sick of Tuscaloosa and what should have been, could have been. Look, y'all lost 2 games. There has been no team with 2 losses in the college football playoff.
Y'all beat the hell out of
y'all
these guys.
can do whatever you want. It is what it is. If you wanted to make the playoff, don't lose those games. Y'all blew it against. Y'all had 16 penalties against Tennessee. 16. And they won by 3 points. 3 points. 16 penalties.
How many
fault.
points did Alabama lose for all season? Was
5.
it less than 7?
5, 3, and 2. Y'all did that. You did that against Tennessee. You allowed the Tennessee receiver to have 5 touchdowns. You let Tennessee beat you with 1 person.
That 1 person is good.
Wasn't good against Georgia.
That's tough. 2 losses in your totals for the season is 5 points. You lost by 5 points. 2 games, 5 points. That hurts.
It does. It sucks, man. Dog, this game was so out of hand.
But hold on, before we leave, that is the reason that we had
we're not leaving.
Playoffs. It's the reason that playoff expansion was needed. Now, I don't think that they needed to go to 12. I think that's too many games, which is par for the course for the playoff committee. They can't seem to get anything right, and this looks like more of them doing the exact same. Nobody asked for 12 teams. We said it should have been 8 from the beginning, and then somehow you got to 12. You could at least just done 10.
I think 12 allows you to have 2 byes, and then you have 2 verse 5, 3 verse 4. I think that's how that's gonna work.
Should have just been 8. We all know that.
Either way, it was 4 this year, and this year the Georgia Bulldogs did something that has never happened in the college football playoff era. It's actually only happened 4 times in college football, period, in modern college football. A team went back-to-back, won the championship. That means a championship in 1 year, and then they went a whole nother year and won a championship again. The Georgia Bulldogs are national champions. The Georgia
just so
Bulldogs.
Happy to make tequila.
Huh? Oh, yeah. You should be, because it's unfortunate for you. The Georgia Bulldogs beat them 65-7. The Georgia Bulldogs beat them so bad that they went and got chicken wings during the game. Now, of course, Kirby's going to cuss this dude out. Kirby's going to cuss Kendall Milton out. Kendall Milton had a touchdown. Mind you, Kendall Milton's coming back too. These dudes are eating chicken wings during the national championship game because at that point, it was 45-7. If I'm not mistaken. 45-7 with 13 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Georgia came out smoking. I told y'all, and everybody was like, nah. I said, look, playing Ohio State, while it was a tough physical game, it was the worst thing that could have happened to TCU because they both run spread offenses, although they're different play styles different play calls off of it. They both ran spread offenses. They both run misdirection, and they both try to incorporate the run, but they pass more and they had a running quarterback. C.J. Stroud caught Georgia off guard. C.J. Stroud and Ryan Day called a hell of a game. They did everything right, and the kicker blew it, and the defense blew it.
This is embarrassing.
You then go
embarrassing to the playoff committee. This is embarrassing to college football.
You then go play TCU, who the only thing that I can say about the Big 12, I'll say they don't play defense. The difference in the size was just pause. Wild was insane. Like now, TCU's offensive linemen were when they went to the. I always look at the coin flip, right? I look at the coin toss to see if there's gonna be like when they had Derrick Henry against like whoever they played, and it was just ridiculous. Clemson, and I was like, oh yeah, Alabama about to beat the shit out of them this year. TCU had some big linemen. I looked at the rest of their team. I was like, oh, it's our safety is bigger than as big as they running back. I was like, oh, it's bigger than their running back. I was like, this about to get ugly. The defensive line for Georgia dominated. Well, everything was dominated. Everything dominated.
And Sneaky, I 100% agree. That's the reason I'm so frustrated about this game is we knew that TCU wasn't qualified, but they still put them in that position. And this is when you stick teams who everybody knows are not qualified to be in these games, and they got destroyed. Like you know who else? You know who really should take this L is University of Central Florida. We went undefeated. This is what happens if you would have got your ass out there undefeated and played against one of the top 4 teams in the country. You would have got boat race. You got the doors blown off. You would have actually got the doors blown off you, probably worse.
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't realize there were so many storylines to this entire game. You had Sonny Dykes went 14-1, did not win the conference championship. Won Coach of the Year. Sam Duggart, Caleb Williams was by far and away the best quarterback and was the Heisman Trophy winner. Stetson finished 4th. Sam Duggart finished 2nd.
Who else did we miss?
CJ Stroud finished 3rd. So then you have Stetson Bennett's story of being a walk-on, coming back, et cetera, et cetera. Then you had everybody picking TCU in the upset. Or I don't think anybody really picked them. I think people were just hoping. I don't think anybody really believed that TCU was going to beat Georgia.
Yes. That's where I was stuck. I can't root for Georgia, but I'm not stupid either. I know that they're about to get their ass handed to them. But I'm never saying go Georgia.
I mean, I never say go Florida, so I get it. I've never actually rooted for Florida to win anything. There was a few indicators that told me that this was going to be a blowout, right? What was the first one? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me find Staquavius real quick, Sheldon. Staquavius showed up to the thing. Staquavius, that was dubbed by Dog Nation, is when he had a bad game against Missouri. He needed a haircut. They went and gave him a fade. And ever since he got that fade, he has been unstoppable. Staquavius Bennett showed up with the fresh fade. That's when I knew, oh, this is a wrap. Secondly, what was the second thing? We're going to play this clip from Kirby Smart. Let me see if I can, I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play this clip from Kirby Smart.
Oh, not this one. I did like this too, though. This is great.
Trust your preparation. Your ass is prepared for this shit for fucking 365 days. I think about them fuckers in that locker room. Think about getting our opportunity. All the shit you went through this week to get ready for this game, now is when you pay the fucking price. You go out there with energy, enthusiasm. Hey, guys, ain't nobody in this room should be cautious. Ain't nobody in this room should be nervous about shit. Go out here and fuck their ass up. Don't think about scoreboard. Don't think about shit. You think about knocking the shit out of them. Did you hear what Box said on Monday? When I sat in that fucking meeting, I wanted to go fucking play right then. Tore your shit up out here. 2 years ago, fucked your shit up. Goddamn pride and joy tells me you fuck these guys up. You go play the right way. You play the right way. You knock their ass off. You stay off the fucking ground. You tackle the fucking man with a ball. The shit's easy. Look at the right shit. Punish their ass on offense and kick their ass on special teams, guys. It's about who the fuck we are. I believe in you. Let's go.
Hey.
I want to go play.
Tim Tebow gave a great speech. It ain't got shit on that one, boy. That one is the one that they need to engrave on the hedges, wherever it is. Stick that one word for word on the side of every stadium, on every classroom, and it should be like the alma mater. Hey, learn it inside and outside. Be able to say it front to back, back to front at a moment's notice.
Kirby went
Kirby's
Berserk.
Battle Cry. That's what they need to name that. Goddamn, that is it. I want to play. Hey, can we start the pod with that every time?
Yes, we can. We can.
Hey,
but
motivational speeches, Hey, that one he nailed it, bro. That one.
Hey man,
That's what it must
so,
like to record Drake. You be like, ooh, he on that.
So these quarterbacks were born in 1997: Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, and Stetson Bennett.
Josh Rosen.
Stetson Bennett, he's on the Dolphins. I mean, on the Vikings. Stetson Bennett, of course, you guys know he started off at Georgia, left, came back, redshirted, COVID year. All that adds up to 25. 25-year-old player, 2 national championships. Hey, I'll take it. It is what it is. So everybody's been like, he's 25.
I think he's still the worst quarterback on this list.
Really? Think he's worse than Josh Rosen and Daniel Jones? Well, Daniel Jones, I guess he's a starting quarterback. You think he's worse than Josh Rosen? I don't know. Josh Rosen never got a fair shake to me. I've never seen it.
Josh Rosen always gets his job taken by the black guy, so there's that.
Josh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Quite right.
But, so, let me ask you this.
Go back.
Oh, it's too late. It's fine. I'll bring it back up. What were you going to say?
Hit the right arrow.
Oh, these QBs I didn't know that. Younger than Stetson Bennett. Yeah, I did know that. Because Stetson left when Justin Fields got there, if I'm not mistaken.
Also, don't believe he's better than any quarterback on this page.
No, he's not better than anybody on this page. This page, I give him Josh Rosen. This page, no. I mean, all of these are starters. We don't believe he's a starting quarterback.
I guess we can have this conversation as you goat him. Where do you think he gets drafted?
5th round, 6th round, 7th round, somewhere in there. He's short. He's little. He's little. So, but he is now going to go down as Georgia's version of Tim Tebow. It's going to happen. Probably with
so terrible to me because I think that Tim Tebow is so much better than Stetson Bennett.
I think that Tim Tebow is just a bigger human. I don't know if he's a better quarterback than Justin.
I would not ever put Stetson Bennett and Tim Tebow in the same category.
I think Stetson Bennett is a better passer than Tim Tebow. It's not even close. Tim Tebow can't throw.
Tim Tebow is one of the top 5.
Tim Tebow cannot throw.
And Stetson Bennett has never been a better football player than Tim Tebow.
Stetson Bennett is a better passer than Tim Tebow.
He's never been a better football player.
You can say whatever you can say all that football player shit, and he can run and dive in the paint in Florida State and give motivational speeches or whatever. Tim Tebow is not a better passer than Stetson Bennett. Not even close.
He's a better.
Not
football
even
player.
close. Not even close. Not even close.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow is a better. He has better intangibles than almost every football player on earth.
No, tangibles. His tangibility, tangelos, tangerines, he's all better than steady.
He's bigger than Stetson Bennett in terms of height and weight.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
I don't think he's faster. Stetson Bennett runs a 4.5. I don't think Tim Tebow ran faster than a 4.5.
Race him. Race him right now.
You race him right now. I put my money on Stetson.
I put my money on Tim.
You got now on the bench press. Tim got it. On
bench press Stetson right now.
That's fine. You can do it. Whatever. That's fine.
Easy money.
Bad
I just
passer.
Bad Tim Tebow
passer.
Tim Tebow propelled the Gators to to 2 championships. I think Stetson Bennett rode on the backs of one of the best defenses I've ever seen in my life. Just my
Tim
opinion.
Tebow propelled the Gators to 1 championship. He won 2, but he didn't propel them to the first one. He was a freshman. Chris Leak was the starter.
He was a part of that.
He didn't propel him. Stetson Bennett was a part of that. Come on now, get your bullshit right now. If you gonna talk some shit,
then.
get your bullshit right.
That. I'll give you that. He was a part of one. He propelled one. Stetson was a part of two.
You don't think Stetson Bennett?
It's certain hills I'm gonna die on, and Stetson Bennett and Tim Tebow don't even.
You just make sure you put the anchor from Vanderbilt on your grave if you're gonna die on that hill. It is what it is. Yeah. You are crazy if you think Tim Tebow is a better passer than Stetson Bennett. You are wild.
I want to speak directly into the audio receiving device.
Go ahead.
Tim Tebow needs to be not in the same category as Stetson Bennett. That's that on that. Unpopular opinion, Norwood. Sign that. That's mine.
Nobody care. Stetson Bennett is a better passer. It is what it is. Anyway, he probably is going to get a statue. Unfortunately, the only thing Tim Tebow didn't do was, Stetson Bennett didn't do was win a Heisman Trophy, which goes to the intangibles. So, but Georgia was over there clowning, though. Warren Brinson looked like he's going to have a second career, huh?
He's good.
Danny Kanell.
Danny Kanell, Brady. The Dogs just went back-to-back. How do y'all feel about this historic season? With the Dogs, people assume the Dogs are going 6-5, living in the shadow of last year. How do you feel about the Dogs and their back-to-back victory?
I think you guys are the dynasty right now. You're the king of college football. How do you feel?
I feel like this is the glory of the Dog days. The good times are forming, and the dynasty is just now beginning. Coach Smart is a great coach, and you'll be a Hall of Famer. How do you feel about the Dogs?
I think you guys took over Bama. I think you guys are the new dynasty, the new kings of college football.
You heard it here from CBS Sports. Georgia football, the kings of college football. Thank you. Here live at.
He nailed that. He nailed it.
There's a lot of things here. First off, Warren Brinson is like the class clown. Mind you, I think he had 1.5 sacks this game. He's coming back. He's just a sophomore, I believe. Sophomore, junior. This Georgia team has a lot of the Warriors championship from last year vibes. Meaning, they're like, I don't know why, because they were ranked number 1 the entire year. But, Josh, that's weird. You needed someone to throw the World War II football bomb to save your life. You picking Tim Tebow or Stetson. Yeah. But what I'm saying is Georgia went next. They were told to go. They were told they were going to lose multiple games. They were told that they were going to lose to Tennessee, who was the number 2 team ranked. And then they ended up going 15-0. They for some reason Georgia had a chip on their shoulder. I've never heard of a number 1 team having a chip on their shoulder.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that.
They had a chip on their shoulder.
Wire to wire. Nobody ever questioned them.
No, they were questioned. They were questioned after the Missouri game. They were questioned that one. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Nick Saban somewhere fuming,
stewing.
I cannot imagine. I bet you he can't sleep. He's probably so mad right now. Like, as mad as I am, I still have like a job and other things to distract me. His whole career is dealing with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I know that household is not a good place to be right now.
This is what you created because Kirby Smart is good at, again, he's good at motivation.
Woo, Lord, cut that off. That's the only part that I really think doesn't do y'all justice is, and I mean, it does help that this is the second championship and not the first one, but this game and this team is so bad. I'm glad this is not the first.
They 13-1, number 3 team in the nation. We beat them 65-7 with 7 minutes and 26 seconds left in the quarter. We could have scored 80 on
How
them.
many SEC teams do you think beat TCU? Now that it's all over. Now it's all over. Y'all are the champions. How many SEC teams do you think beat them?
I can promise you that. And how does it feel to be hunted? We will not be hunted at the University of Georgia. I can promise you that. And how does it?
This motivating dude right here he said this.
That's his thing. He got
last year.
He got that down.
He said this last year. This was at the beginning of the year. He said, "How does it feel to be hunted?" He said, "We will not be hunted. I can promise you." And he's been talking about hunting, and you combine that with the cussing out everybody out at the beginning of the game, he's a beast. But to answer your question, I think Alabama beats TCU. I think Tennessee beats TCU. I think LSU TCU is a good game. And I think that's it.
It's about right.
I think that's it.
That's what I think it is too.
I think TCU is probably, if all teams were undefeated or all teams were undefeated going into championship weekend, I think, or they're all teams that are either undefeated and one loss, I think TCU doesn't get in. I think that unless they win the Big 12. Now, if they were undefeated, then they would get in regardless. But I think that Alabama's better than them. I think a healthy Tennessee was better than them. But they lost. You got to take care of business. The one thing TCU can do, you are a fan of Tim Tebow and his intangibles. The intangibles of TCU made them win. I think they became the darling. They became the Cinderella. They won every game at the end of the game. Every game.
Do you think that the college football playoff committee, now that it's all said and done, they think they did the right thing by putting them in there?
Yeah, I think so. I do. You can't. You again, Alabama and Tennessee fucked themselves over. You don't lose to LSU. You don't lose. And then the fact that they lost to LSU and then LSU lost to Georgia. And Georgia took their foot off the gas. Like, that doesn't help. So
I also, and I want to get this out because I know we're wrapping up. I think that this is motivation for the SEC to secede from the NCAA.
I don't know how that looks though.
Especially with Texas and Oklahoma. What are we playing you guys for? I think that this is what this championship says. What are we really wasting our time playing anybody else for?
But then how do you do that? That means the season ends in December 4th.
I think after that, we're playing a lot of meaningless football anyway for a lot of teams.
Ooh, Sneaky says steady better than Anthony Richardson.
Okay. Well, one of these guys will be drafted in the first round. One of these guys
not because of his talent. I keep saying it, not because of his talent. Where are we? We got one more that we got. Oh, Stetson, great. Oh, the early rankings for next year. So Georgia is number 1. That man, Brock Bowers, the best tight end in football, is back.
He is for sure.
Marvin
Michigan,
Harrison Jr. is back.
Michigan, how?
Blake Corum from Michigan comes back. Michigan got like a lot of players coming back, depending on the transfer portal. I am surprised that Florida State is number 4.
We're back now. This where we are just resetting. We're going back to last season where I told y'all they stick a bunch of stupid ass teams who are not this good in this position, and then you sift through them. Can we swipe right and see the next? Nope. Throw them away. Yes. Maybe. No. Maybe.
So Penn State. So let's go through this. Georgia.
I'm so tired of Penn State and Michigan not doing shit.
Georgia loses Stetson Bennett, who's probably the worst quarterback in the room, talent-wise. If you want me to be honest. Carson Beck is better than him. Brock Vandagriff is better than him. Gunnar Stockton is better than him. And they're projected to get Daniel Raiola, 6'4", number 1 quarterback out of California, who's been crystal ball to UGA. They lose. We watched the game yesterday. In the third quarter, they played all the freshmen. Bear Alexander, number 99, looks like Jordan Davis' little brother. He had 2 sacks and laid Duggard out. Javon Bullard, the college football playoff defensive player of the games of the college football playoff, is a sophomore. You lose Keely Ringo and Chris Smith. Chris Smith is more intangibles. He's good, but he's smart. He's not doesn't have the God-given talent that some of these other players have. Number 13, Michael Williams, tied for the league in sacks, freshman. 99, freshman. Marvin Jones Jr. is probably the best natural pass rusher on the team, freshman. Chaz Chambliss, 32, freshman. John Dumas, the linebacker, number 10, sophomore. Shmael Munden, sophomore. Malachi Starks led the team in interceptions. Freshman. Kamari Lassiter, sophomore.
Hey, we gotta figure something out next season. I can't deal with this.
Kamari Lassiter, sophomore. We go to the offensive side of the ball. You lose Kenny McIntosh, but you get Dawan Edwards. Branson Robinson looked like Nick Chubb Jr. out there, number 22, 2 touchdowns. The offensive line. They lose Cedric. Now that I do think the offensive line is going to be where you may see fall off. But Georgia plays 10 offensive linemen a game. They rotate the offensive line. So you lose Cedric Van, except for the center. They don't rotate Cedric Van Pran. So that's a big deal. But they got Warren Erickson. They lose Mark Truss, and they got Ratledge. They lose Broderick Jones, who's going to be the first tackle taken in the draft. And they come back with Amarius Mims.
Whoa, he going to be taken ahead of Skoronski?
Yeah, they got him right now as the number 1 tackle in the draft. Right now. Oh. It may change because he's only 6'4". But right now, he's okay. Even if not, we'll say top 2 tackle. Top 2 tackle. You replace him with the number 1 tackle. You have Warren McClendon, who's probably going to be a top 5 tackle drafted. Nope, I get to talk. I get to say whatever I want to. Warren McClendon. He's going to graduate. They have somebody else. Georgia right now has a chance, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, Georgia fans, and we don't ever. But we lose Keely Ringo, but we got Nyland Green. Like, we at this point could possibly go a three-peat. We need Carson Beck to play well to do it. Our offense is probably going to be better. Our offense is probably going to be better. Yeah, our offense is probably going to be better. Therefore, we'll be able to push the ball downfield even more because our quarterback has a bigger arm. Arian Smith, sophomore. Ladd McConkey is a junior, but I mean, he'll be back. Added A.D. Mitchell, number 5, sophomore. We got Jackson Meeks in the tuck. We're gonna lose some players to attrition, and we're gonna lose them to the transfer portal. But we got the number 2 recruiting class coming in. Georgia's team. I told y'all. I told Norwood. I said y'all better hope Georgia doesn't win this year, because Georgia's team next year, so far from what we see, is supposed to be better than this team. Next year, we're not going to be relying on Ladd McConkey, walk on. Well, he's a 2-star recruit. Or Stetson Bennett, walk on. We're not going to be relying on them. You're going to replace. Then we have the top receiver for Mississippi State and the second leading receiver on Missouri are coming to Georgia in the transfer portal. At this point, coupled with Georgia's weak schedule next year, they really could go for a three-peat. They have the number 1 and 2 tight end from 2020. Let's see, Brock Bowers is 2021, and Darnell Washington 2021. Lawson Lucky is 2022. That played. I mean, Oscar Delp was 2022 that played. Lawson Lucky and all these. They got the number 1 and 2 tight end for the next 3 years, from 2021 to 2024. They got the number 1 and number 2 tight ends. Todd Monken right now is playing out of his mind. Norwood has put himself on mute. He put himself in timeout, just like the SEC put Florida in timeout, or Vanderbilt.
I'm not on mute. I'm expressing myself the only way that I know how. Via statuses. Send us a QB, Lord. Send us a coach. Send us so many things that we need in this very dark moment of despair. I ask that you heal my team. I ask that you send me a quarterback who knows how to use the internet without getting in trouble. I ask that you send me a coach who can do more than run a wide receiver screen. We are in in the worst of times, the darkest of hours, I ask that you
all right, man, I'm about to mute you because this sounds sad. We're still talking about Georgia. I'm gonna.
I am hurt. I don't know if you figured that out, but it's bad around here right now. It's real bad.
And it's real good
you
for
can list
Georgia.
it off every recruit y'all have from now until 2029.
Nope, that was just 2 years. That was just 2 years of players. That's what Vanderbilt did to Florida. Bye-bye.
In this show, yo, I didn't let you win.
You ain't let me do nothing. But honestly, this is what Georgia beating TCU this much. Georgia could lose twice next year and may end up getting into the playoff just because they beat them 65-7. Not saying they will lose, because the teams that we play from the West is Auburn and Ole Miss, I believe, at home.
Trash.
And then we play everybody in the East. But, ladies and gentlemen,
you close them out today. You close them out.
We recorded the outro.
You close.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, winners and losers. You can tell by how everybody is sitting, how our co-hosts are sitting, who's the winner and who is the loser. One is attentive, makes straight A's. The other one is in the back of the class, just trying to get to gym. That's all he's doing. It's been a wonderful podcast. Great podcast. Please go back and listen. Boy, you crazy, Sneaky. You right, we can't afford losses, but we won't. Go back and listen to the pregame, listen to the intro. I had to address all of the haters who are preying on our downfall. The more we win, the more people hate. People love Georgia and love to be affectionate with Georgia when we would lose on a Hail Mary, or when we would lose a game we weren't supposed to lose, and that would knock us from the number 2 team to the number 5 team. They would love to do that. Soon as Georgia win, now everybody mad. Now everybody, oh my God, we got to change the rules. Oh my God, we got to add players. Oh my God, nobody said shit when Nick Saban Alabama was winning 1,000 championships. Yeah, now that the meek has inherited the earth, y'all big mad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, get cozy. I hope that y'all sit so long that your feet go to sleep and you can't walk away from the ass whipping that Georgia's putting on y'all year in and year out. Kirby Smart, I just hope he doesn't leave. But if he gets 3 in a row, that could be worst case scenario. He gets 3 in a row, he's like, well, I ain't got nothing else to accomplish. I'm going to go to the pros. But that may not suit him. Georgia right now is on top of the mountaintop, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh Lord, don't start talking about that mountaintop, Dion.
Nah. We ain't talking about, the commandments or nothing and tying it into football. We talking about good old fashioned ass kicking. 65-7. 65-7. Hats off. The only people that I respect out of anybody is Ohio State. Shout out to Ohio State. They played their ass off. I'm impressed with everything at Ohio State, except for their defense. But I'm impressed with everything offensively at Ohio State. They played really well. But they lost. End of the day, the Georgia Bulldogs. We don't need no T's and P's. Y'all can keep them. Shout out to all black people, black women. Keep hope alive. Keep pushing. Keep going forward. We're not ending with that today. We ending with the coronation, the beginning of the new dynasty, the Georgia Bulldogs. And I'm going to end this the same way I ended it last year when we won the national championship. If you hate me now, you better not let us win it again next year. If you think I'm bad now, you better not let us win it next year, because then we would have done something that has never been done in any time in college football, and that will be the feather in my cap that will shut all Alabama fans up. We've already shut up the Florida fans. Shut the Florida fans up. It will shut everybody up, and there'll be nothing that you can say to me forever. That is something that I will be able to talk shit about forever. Y'all better not give me that. You better not give me that. But if I get it, I deserve it because I stayed down. You thought I was about to done. I was about to close out this episode. I stayed down when y'all was talking trash to me, calling me on my birthday and cussing me out, Norwood. Calling me on my birthday and talking trash, Wortham. Commenting on my pictures. Found out that my dad is a Alabama fan. I hope you watching Pop Love You. Ha ha ha. Told you it was going to happen. On them bandwagon fair weather fans ain't got no ties to Alabama. None. Didn't even know Saban. Didn't even like Saban. Couldn't even spell Saban. And now y'all Alabama fans. No. Nope. We get to have our day in the sun today, just like we had our day in the sun last year, just like we are set up to try to have our day in the sun next year. And by my math, that means we'll be at episode 130 something. If we at episode 130 something and I got to do another episode like this, it's going to be just like this. It's going to be a little louder, probably have a little bit more money, a little bit more sponsorships, a little bit more graphics. A little bit more graphics. Might even be at the national championship game if Georgia's there. And Norwood already put it in the air. It's on the episode that we making big bets next year, and the loser has to wear the other team's jersey. Said it. It's a good thing about a pod. All that stuff cannot be refuted.
Yep.
So if Georgia wins and goes to the national championship, I will buy Norwood a jersey myself. It will be custom. It will be number 5 in red and black, and it will say Norwood on the back. Or I can be even more petty. I can go up and look up his brother's number that was at Florida and get that same jersey made only in Georgia colors with Norwood and send it to Norwood for him to wear. Just know the pettiness will be at an all-time high if this happens next year. But we got a lot of work to do. The job is not done. Well, the job is done. This job this year is done just like last year was done. New job starts. New job starts in 2 weeks because they about to go get all the fun that they can have. Thank you for tuning in to the Splashcast. Half of the Splashcast full of winners, half full of losers. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, review us on all your DSPs, specifically YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Twitch.
Keep us in your prayers.
Keep Norwood in your prayers because Florida sucks. And Florida is 2 coaches away from being competitive.
In the episode.
We love y'all.
You going too far. Too far. Too far.